Ahoy, mateys! Welcome to another episode of the Teacup for One Pirate Movie Marathon. My name is Matt, and I have 2 degrees, yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum, dead man's chest, and all of that fun stuff. Who do we have here? What pirates are joining us? Aubrey, yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum to you as well. Nick Wood, yo-oh-oh, my fellow Englishman. Good to see you here in the chat. Always a pleasure, mate. Now I'm going Australian. My cat's here, Sabrina. Oh, you little angel. Eliza, her sister cat, says hello. I'm her assistant. She says she's busy tonight with a prior engagement. I will watch for her. Eliza, what are you doing tonight? Oh my goodness, you have such a bustling social life, my cats do. Jack Fruit. That's a brilliant name. Well, welcome, Jack. Happy to have you. Bob Hunt, R indeed. Nick Wood also saying R. The R's are here in the house. Fantastic. Well, for anyone joining us for the very first time, welcome to week 2 of the Teacup for One Pirate Movie Marathon. I mean, that's kind of misleading. The Pirates of the Caribbean Movie Marathon. A pirate movie marathon would have been fun if we just watched a bunch of pirate-themed movies, but like, these are the only good ones. And even that's kind of a stretch because like we watched Black Pearl last weekend. I feel like that's the only good one, but we're here to discuss it today. So this is the second film in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. It is Dead Man's Chest. It's the movie that introduced Bill Nighy as Davy Jones, and then we also got a slew of fun, new, interesting characters. Some returned. There's a lot to discuss with this movie, and we're gonna discuss it. What's Aubrey have to say? My siblings and I used to dance around singing "I've Got a Jar of Dirt." Guess what's inside it? I adore that. That's amazing. I have a master's in soil science. I didn't know you had a master's in soil science. I feel like I remember you mentioning that you were a scientist during the what was that Oscar movie with the end of the world and Meryl Streep playing Donald Trump, but not. What was it called? That movie. I remember that the science came up during that movie, but soil science. Tell me more. Tell me more. To quote Grease, like, does he have a car? Do. Let's bring in our guests for this evening. Always a pleasure to have these two on the show. We are going to start with, who's it going to be? It's going to be Jeanette.
Ahoy!
Ahoy, matey.
And programs. How are you?
I'm a delight. How are you?
I'm feeling real buccaneery. It's great.
Fantastic. Well, welcome to week 2 of Pirate Movie Marathon. You know the drill. Those who might not know, who are you? What's Jeanette?
So Jeanette is on Instagram. You can find me at TinkerJ787 on Instagram. You can also find me on We Like Theme Parks on Tuesdays tonight. You can also find me here tonight. And pretty soon, yeah, I'm in 2 places at once. And then you can find me early July on Dole Whip Darlings. And you can check out my Instagram for my trip reports. And I'll be heading down Sunday for my 10th wedding anniversary with Disney Dado.
Oh, I'm so excited. Are you going to ride pirates in honor of that?
I don't know. We actually don't have Magic Kingdom on the books because we want to do things that the little one typically does not want to do. So that's a lot of Hollywood Studios and a lot of eating and drinking. That's a lot of Epcot. So
that's the best trip. Oh, yes. I'm so jealous. Take me on your next anniversary adventure, why don't you?
Yes, 20 years. In 10 years, you're coming with us.
Bro, oh my gosh, is this your 10 year?
It's our 10-year anniversary, and it's our first trip without our daughter.
That's so exciting for you. Oh my gosh. For both like 10 years, but also first like no child trip. No, not to say I'm sure it's so much fun with the kiddo, but still.
It's different, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I like when I go, it's Teacup for One. I do whatever I want, whenever I want. That's the only way I know how to travel. So It's like you're doing a teacup for 2.
There's a lot of spas, no bibbities.
No bibbities. I love that. Amazing. Who do we have here? Martha has joined us. Hello, Martha. Ahoy, Martha. Well, let's bring in our next guest for this evening. You know her. You'll recognize her from previous shows like last week. It's Morgan from Teaching Disney, everyone.
It's Morgan.
Hello.
Hello, Morgan. Welcome back. Did this movie scare you less?
No.
No? Okay.
No. I mean, there weren't as many jump scares in this one, but like it still was like the overall theme, I think, was more scary than the first one.
Oh, well, we will discuss. I do think there were things in this movie that were more triggering in certain ways than in the last movie, absolutely. But before we get into that, tell us, Morgan, who are you? What is Morgan?
So I am teaching Disney on YouTube. You can follow me at Teaching Disney on YouTube, and then a really long Instagram that you can find on my YouTube page. I currently have a giveaway going on, so go look at that and enter in. I know Matt's like super excited about it.
I forgot to enter, but I'm going to. First thing, well, I have a meeting after this live stream. First thing after that meeting. I'm a 6th grade math and science teacher, and I go to the Disney parks very frequently. Oh, that's the life. Parks, teaching, Disney, all of it.
And Matt, I brought a gift for you.
What did you bring me?
So I brought you a very bad picture of me in my pirate's costume.
I adore that. Martha was actually saying before this stream that I should have like a pirate costume picture contest.
Yeah,
Everyone seems to have one.
I have a lot of piratey pictures. So like that's when I was like a pirate for Neverland.
Nice.
And then that other one was a pirate for when I did that Pirates of the Caribbean theme dance.
Oh, I need to find my pirate
Pirates
pictures.
of the Caribbean theme.
I wish I had one of me when I dressed up as a pirate, but it was just as camera phones were becoming a thing.
Yeah.
There it is. Well, just
A little bit better.
do you still have the costume? Just throw it on. Take a picture. Then you have a pirate costume.
I don't have the costume. It's
Right.
at my mom's house. And
Oh, I meant Jeanette, but also you can throw on your costume too. We
If
can all
I
have our
fit in
pirate
that
costumes.
costume, it would be a miracle.
I've had so many pirate costumes, none of them mine. Well, actually, maybe just 2. I need to find both of them. I need to find theme park pirate Matt, and well, I've shown you Captain Hook pirate Matt. It's a delight. Okay, let's see. Who do we have here in the chat? Bob Hunt. So, Bob, contrary to that, I was too honest with Disney because I went shortly after my actual birthday to celebrate my birthday. And my birthday is February 20th. I was still wearing the birthday button on February 29th because it was the leap year in 2020. And all the cast members that day were saying, "Oh, is today actually your birthday? Like today?" And I said, no, it was a week ago, but I was at home and I was working. So like, this is my birthday trip. They said, "Oh, that's nice. Happy on birthday." And then later that night, I found out that they held a giant secret birthday party for everyone who actually had a February 29th birthday. So if I had lied, I could have gone to the secret party.
Oh, man.
I know. I was too honest.
Well, they ask that
ridiculous.
all the time because me and my sister, because our birthday normally falls during the week, so we'll go on the weekend and they'll be like, "Is this your actual birthday?" And I'm like, "No," and that's the answer they.
Oh yeah, no, they like to be honest. They said, "Okay, well, thank you for being honest. We have lots of people with unbirthdays," and I realize that's probably like their codified way of saying it is what it is. But you know who can confirm? Our next guest, a former, maybe present, we need to confirm, Disney cast member. It's Punzi from Punzi's Palace.
Hello.
Hi, Libby.
Hi.
Are you still working for the Magical Kingdom?
No, I do not work for the Magical Kingdom anymore.
Ah,
I said my farewells, but it's a
but
good time.
it's still in your heart. So is unbirthday a thing that they just like say amongst themselves for folks who lie about their birthdays?
Possibly. Down at Jungle Cruise, we were like a separate part of the park. We weren't in on a lot of things. We did our own stuff.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love that. If I can ever figure out a reason to put Jungle Cruise into one of these movie marathons, like you need to be here with Kenny. Oh, sorry, I said his real name. With Chris from Orlando. That's his name. That's his real name. Chris from Orlando. That's his name. Yeah. And then we just hear all the jungle secrets. I would love that. But yeah, Libby, tell us all about you. Tell us, who are you? What do you do? What is Punzi's Palace?
So I'm Libby from Punzi's Palace. I do all kinds of different videos just about Disney in general. Right now it's been a lot of hauls and compilation videos of my time when I was down at Disney. But I'm hoping to go back to my Disney analysis videos again in the future. So yeah, that's what I do. I like talking about movies.
Brilliant. Well, you came to the right live stream. Cheers to that. So, Pirates of the Caribbean, Part 2. Little did we know at the time that there would be so many of these. I remember when this movie came out, it was such a big deal because original Pirates was still like hot in everyone's mind as being the like
3 years
most
later.
industry-changing thing. It was only 3. I feel like so much time passed, but
I do too.
Right.
I thought the first one was like 2001, 2002. This one was 2006, and I was like, oh, it was 2003 and 2006.
I know. Like, I
Interesting.
just placing it with where I was in my life both times, I feel like more time had passed, but evidently it hadn't. So, question I always like to start out with is if you remember the first time you saw the movie and any memories of that nostalgic feeling. And Libby, since you weren't here last week, you can also chime in with your thoughts on Black Pearl if you remember the first time you saw that. We'll start with you.
I remember seeing, especially the first 3 Pirates movies, all of them in theaters. It was an amazing time, especially for this movie. And I guess spoiler alert of what happens at the end, but it's been out for years. You should know what happens. But Barbossa coming back, I remember just like my dad in the theaters being like, I knew it. It was great. It was such a good moment. It's like core memory for me. But I love these movies so much. They're so fun.
Yeah. Brilliant. How did he know? That's my question. I was shook.
He always knew. He was like, they can't kill off that character in the first movie. He's too good. He's going to come back. And
okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. Morgan, do you remember the first time you saw this movie? Or was the first time this like yesterday?
No, I've seen it before. I don't think I've seen the whole thing all at once. I definitely have seen, now that I know what the end of the movie is, I thought there was like a different ending. I guess that might be in the third one. But I thought there was like a whole different kind of thing. So I guess I've seen it, bits and pieces of it, not fully strung together. So it makes a lot more sense now. But yeah, I don't really remember when the first time I watched it. I just remember it being on, and I was like, oh, I don't want to watch that. And so I turned it off.
Yeah, I respect that. Jeanette.
So, like I said last week, I saw the first one in theaters. I saw this one in theaters too. The difference being rum, let's say. So, during the first one, I was a junior in high school. And when this one came out, I had graduated high school and Katrina had happened. I lived in New Orleans, so life was rough to say the least. So I don't really remember what theater I saw this at, but I know I saw it in theaters. So I'm not sure where or when that happened, but I remember being very shocked by all of the story twists and plot twists and like, oh my God, he's alive. Oh my God, he's siding with these people. It's all very scandalous. And like, I definitely feel like I remember being way more intrigued with the whole Will and Elizabeth story during this one than I was during the first one. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh, we'll have to unpack that because I have thoughts on all of those characters and what they did, what they chose to do in this movie. Yeah, I feel like I have no distinct. I know I saw this movie in theaters. I have no distinct memory of it. I know I saw it almost a month after it came out because that summer I was directing and producing my first ever theater show as like an ambitious, however old I was, like 18 or 19-year-old probably. And I was so busy I didn't have time to see it until after my play opened. And I said to myself, this will be your reward, Matt, for taking on this overly ambitious project of yours that's making you no money. And it was a disappointing reward because I sat there in the theater almost a month after it opened. I didn't see it with a huge audience, and I was just thinking, this isn't as good as the first one. And it's kind of how I still feel now. Not as good as the first one. Although it was better, I think, than I expected it to be. So yeah, let's move into how does it hold up now on your most recent rewatch. I'll answer last again. Jeanette, you go. We'll go the other way this time.
So on my most recent rewatch, which was a rather expedited one, I had certain things that I remembered about it. Like I remembered the whole tribal scene and how funny that was. I remember thinking that it was way like the action was better. I liked the action in this one because it involved actual like physical peril, not just sword fights. So like gargantuan monsters. It was almost like Godzilla-esque. It was like, I love that. And then like the swinging cage things, like I remembered that. But then the parts I didn't remember was how much I loved Keira Knightley back in the day, but I totally dug like she was treacherous. And that was pretty awesome. Like I remember loving that. And I didn't like remember that the last time I watched it, much like Morgan. And I think I know what she's talking about. I remembered a different ending, but I think I'm confusing that with At World's End. Yeah. And yeah, and I'm not going to be
that one ends.
So I do. and because I thought it was part of this movie, and it
Oh,
super wasn't. So it must be the next movie.
wow. No,
And
and like
so
the ending of
I've
this is the only
literally-
thing I remembered was Barbossa coming down and
yeah, I
saying,
don't want to
"Where's
give
my ship?"
anything away. When that happened, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. And because there's just been so many, it all blurred together in my mind.
Mm.
And so yeah, I did expect when I was rewatching, I was like, oh yeah, it ends this way. And then I was like, oh, it doesn't. That's the next one. I'm not going to be here next week. So at the end of the show, I'll just make a little tidbit address to that because one of my favorite characters ever from the franchise is in this movie. And that's Calypso.
Oh
So
my gosh. We
on
don't know
the
she's Calypso yet, though.
Oh, see?
We don't
Wait,
know.
she has a name?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
she's
she's
no,
Tia
Sorry.
Dalma.
See, I just
no, no.
And that's what I'm getting at.
She's not a bunch of crabs pretending to be a human. What?
crab
what?
people talk like people. Oh, sorry.
Wait, I've never
Oh.
seen At World's End.
Oh, see, good thing you're here next week, Morgie, because you're in for a.
I've literally only seen the last 2 minutes of At World's End because that was all I could watch.
Oh, I just remembered
And that's
how
why I
At
thought
World's
it was
End
the ending of
ends.
this one.
Yeah,
So,
I don't like it.
needless to say, the rewatch of this actually made me way more hyped up because I was like, oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, that. And like I was very excited when I rewatched it because I think this one and At World's End had kind of blurred together for me. So it kind of re-separated them in my mind. And I really enjoyed this round.
Yeah, no, they definitely feel like, from what I remember of At World's End and rewatching this, I think this is like the first step towards Hollywood splitting movies that should be one movie into two movies. Hashtag
Potentially.
Wicked.
Even though this one's 2 hours and 40 minutes anyway. So
Yeah, well,
what you gonna do?
You can cut out the first hour of the movie because it contributes nothing to the plot. But I'll get into my thoughts on that in a little bit. Morgan, how does it hold up for you?
It had a lot of parts that I didn't know it had, like that I knew were there, but I didn't know were there at the same time. It had a lot of like, I was like, oh my God, what is this? What's going on? And which I'm sure we'll get into later, like especially the part when they go back to Tortuga. I was like, what? I didn't know that happens. Completely didn't even faze me. And then it suddenly just ended, and I was shocked. I was like, wait, what? That's the end? Because like you, I don't think that the first hour is really necessary to the movie. Although it's funny.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh.
I was like, okay, meh. All right, let's get a move on here, because I thought where it ended, I was like, oh wait, we got to get all the way to there, and then we did get all the way there. So then I was really confused and lost at the end. So I'm interested to see what the next movie is because I don't remember anything about it.
See, you're lucky. You could just watch the next movie. Back in the day, we had to wait years. Probably years.
It's the whole Harry Potter train, so
Yeah.
don't even
get
me started.
It's also like it's reminiscent of The Last Jedi / Force Awakens, like just tacking that important character on at the very end and then just leaving you with it to ponder over for like an extended period of time before the next movie comes out. Granted, I know lots of people have mixed feelings on how The Last Jedi played that out, but I liked it.
Although I love Star Wars now, I did not love Star Wars up until a year ago. So I actually had not watched Star Wars up until like a month before the last one came out.
Oh, so you also didn't have to suffer through waiting to see
Oh
what
my
Mark
God.
Hamill said.
No.
What
never.
does it feel to have less than 3 decades of trauma? What does it feel like?
Hey, I did the whole Harry Potter thing, although I read the books. But I mean, I did the
All
whole
was
Harry
well.
Potter of like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next? I'm shook.
All was well. Delightful. Libby, how's it hold up for you?
So I feel like I'm in the minority of I really like this movie.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I
No,
love it.
I please
Yeah.
change my mind. People have changed my mind on this show multiple times.
I just feel like I have so much nostalgia around these movies. Like it wasn't I watched this movie in theaters, I watched it when it came out on DVD, and then I rewatched it for this. I rewatch it at least once or twice a year.
Oh, I love that.
I love the Pirates movies, and I'll rewatch them all the time. If I'm in a mood, I will rewatch them because I love them that much. So rewatching this one, just within this last week, I was still like, okay, this is great. I love this. So fun. And I'm also rewatching them with a friend who she's never seen them, so it's really funny to see her reactions to everything.
Nice.
So that's really fun. I think I love this movie particularly because I just love Davy Jones as a character, and his introduction, I think, into it made me really happy. I think if they didn't have Davy Jones like come in as another big villain, big character, like the first one would have been good and then the rest would have been terrible. But I still, in my regard, think the first three are great. They should have ended them there and then they kept going, but it's fine.
It's the Toy Story syndrome. That's what it is.
He haunts my nightmares.
He
so
haunts your nightmares. Oh my gosh. I do think he's a fantastic character. Before I say how it held up for me, we'll visit some new friends in the chat. We have T. Marie's Place. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Mandy's here. Mandy, always a delight. Movie Mania. Nick, what do you think of this? Is it a movie that you share your mania in? Let us know. Rosie, with the puppets. You've only seen the first film. Rosie, you need to see the other ones. Well,
Rosie,
you should see the other ones. Yeah. A shiny crab.
No.
I've only seen
Rosie,
the first
it's
one
totally
twice.
worth it. Anybody that was hunky in the first one is 3 times as hunky in the second one.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah, no, Orlando Bloom grew some hair. I'm just saying. Like, jeez.
Him and his eunuch.
Oh
He
my
was such
God,
a
that's
baby in
hilarious.
the first one.
I know,
That's
in the
true.
first
They were
one.
all
like,
babies in the first one.
No, well,
Yeah.
not Johnny Depp. Come on. Come now.
Oh well, you know he doesn't
Timeless.
age. He's like rum. He stays the
See?
same age.
Look.
Where's
There, you
the
sold
rum?
Rosie. There it is.
Gone.
But yeah, I think the movie held up better than I expected it to, because I've only seen all the ones past Black Pearl once when they first came out, and I just remember being progressively less interested. So I didn't have the highest of expectations. So it exceeded that. So that's good. I definitely felt like the first hour of the movie didn't need to happen, because I was waiting for Davy Jones. I was thrilled for Davy Jones. It took so long for me to see that beautiful octopus creature on screen, like an hour and a half almost. Worth the wait, absolutely. But I felt like he could have been introduced sooner, and that whole business of finding Jack on the island with the cannibals, it to me played like a separate film, like a mini short film in the pirate universe that was just tacked on to the beginning of the actual action. Because I feel like the movie picks up once we actually get onto the Flying Dutchman and stuff happens. I also felt like I was missing, and I think it's explained, according to Wikipedia in the next movie, an explanation as to why they're all fish people. I thought that maybe that was explained, but I don't think it was. So I was kind of missing
I'm
that.
lost on why that is.
Yeah, why are
Other
they
than
fish
are
people?
part of the
This is
season.
another part of the movie that I thought was in this movie that is actually in the next movie. And like, I just remember them all as, and I think this may have been, you know how there's those releases where there's 3 years between movies, except 2 of them came out within 6 months of each other. You know how like,
Yes.
I don't know, like what
I
you
think
call
Twilight
it,
did that.
Endgame. Yeah, like the last
Yeah.
Twilights, the last Harry Potters, the last Avengers. Like, I don't know why, but I remember these 2 coming out close together, and same thing. And I won't give anything away because I won't be here next week, so I'm not going to screw it up for everybody else. But I like distinctly remember whole chunks of this movie that must be the next movie.
Well, because they filmed this movie and the next one back to back, and then
Yeah.
they just released them
Yep,
separately, so that's
They
why.
pulled the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
exactly.
Do we feel like this franchise is easier to follow than Harry Potter?
It's not as linear, I don't think.
No,
The first 3,
I don't
maybe.
think so.
Punzi, you're a big one. The first 3 are linear, and then the next 2 are like, woo!
Yeah, I consider it like the first 3, it's like the trilogy, that's Pirates of the Caribbean, and then 4 and 5 are just like add-on special editions that you can watch if you want to see more Johnny Depp, basically.
Yeah, it's like the continued adventures of Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, but I think it's a bit easier to follow than Harry Potter. Harry Potter, the book's very easy to follow. Harry Potter, the movies, if you haven't read the books, terrible to follow.
Yes.
So this at least doesn't have the book counterpart. You can watch the movies and understand what
I
happened.
started by watching the movies.
Oh, the Harry Potter movies?
Yeah, because
It
I'm
leaves
too
out
young
so
to read
much.
the books.
Same.
literally
I was a
went
late in
to
life
my
reader.
school librarian. I went to go check out the first one. And she's like, that's not on your reading level. You can't check that. And I was like,
Wow.
what?
Wow. Well
Yeah.
then.
I didn't read them till I was like 15 or something because I was like so scarred. But I watched all the movies multiple times.
Yeah, I think the Harry Potter, like number 3 is the one that if you don't know what's happening, I think you're probably pretty lost because they cut out a lot of backstory with the Marauders and everything. But well,
Yeah.
if Harry Potter month ever happens, we'll dive into it then.
Matt.
It would have to be long. It would almost be 2 months because there's 7 movies. Be Harry Potter
Yeah.
2
8
months.
movies.
And
Oh, sorry, 8
sequels.
movies. Oh, right, and
And
Fantastic
sequels to the
Beasts.
franchise.
Fantastic Beasts.
Oh my gosh, it's too much. It's too much.
Now
Although
gonna be
it's-
5.
oh, it's gonna
5
happen
Fantastic
eventually.
Beasts movies apparently.
Yeah. Oh, that's also too many. It's too
Yeah.
many. It's too many. 7. No, Rosie. 8. But to bring it back to Pirates, Nick says, as a sequel, I like the film. For most sequels in film, this was one of the better ones,
Yes.
which is a good segue. I wanted to move into how do we feel this does as a follow-up specifically to Black Pearl? Like cutting out the knowledge that there are other movies. If you just if we were in 2000 and whatever, and we only had these 2 movies, do we think it's a worthy successor to Black Pearl? Why or why not? What do we think it did better or not as good? I think the pacing is not as good. I think it played to the popularity of what worked in the first movie, and it still worked in this movie, but I feel like it was steps towards them being less creative and more just playing into a formula, which is something that made me kind of sad. I missed the sword play. That was one thing I noticed on this rewatch. Kind of the same thing that Jeanette said, but opposite of it working for her, it made me sad because one of my favorite things in the first movie was just how beautiful all the sword work was. And I thought that in this film, the sword sequences weren't shot in a way to honor the actual choreography, which is what I wanted. They were shot to happen in the background of stuff happening or to just like show Jack Sparrow reacting to it. And that annoyed me. But I did like the big stunt pieces, like the big wheel going around while they fought. That was cool. And the cages made of bones, that terrified me, but like in a good way. But then when they were swinging it, that triggered a fear I didn't know I had. So yeah. How do we think it held up from the first movie? We'll go Libby.
I think because I feel like the first Pirates movie is such a classic, and it's very much like they made this movie as like we're gonna pay homage to the ride finally, and like make a movie out of it, and we'll make this whole like character and everything. And it was very much like trying to put in parts from the ride while still trying to make a story out of it. And so I feel like it very much could have just stood alone. That was its movie. But because it gained so much popularity and people wanted to know more about the characters, I feel like there may have been a rush to be like, all right, we need to make more movies out of this. And so I feel like the plot lines did come together in the end, but I feel like they were rushing to find out what they could do to make 2 more movies out of it, if that makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, Morgan.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of information missing from this movie that is like vital. Like, why are they fish? Like, that would be great to know because, like, at the end of the last one, you found out why they were bones. I'd be like, not finding out why they're undead until this movie. And I'm like, why are they fish? Like, other than that, like my own like pure, they must be part of the sea, whatever. Like, that must be why. Like, other than that, I don't really understand that aspect. And it because they took so long between the movies, which I understand they didn't know they were going to make another one, but because they took so long between them, it almost seems unauthentic because you can see that they've all visibly aged a lot. And like, you're not waiting like 3 years back then to marry someone. Like, this would have only been a few months. And I think even the lead into it where they're like, oh, we haven't seen him, we haven't heard of him, like, that makes it seem like it's been like 2 or 3 years, not 2 or 3 months, like you just saw him 2 months ago. So it's just a little, it's like a little like, where are we in time? And then all of a sudden, like, the commander is gone and there's a new guy, and I'm like, where are we in the timeline here? Because I'm very lost.
Yeah, no, Plot-wise, it feels to me like it should be relatively soon after, because if they're being arrested for helping Jack escape, I would
Yeah.
assume that would happen pretty quickly, like as soon as possible. But
Yeah.
then all the other reasons you said, yeah, it feels like it happened a while ago. I think they are intentionally not answering those questions. They're just leaving it.
And like suddenly the Indian East Trade Company is now like higher than the crown or whatever. And I'm like, where is all this coming from? Because last we were here, the king was everything. So I'm so
It's a changing world, Morgan. It's getting smaller.
clearly.
Yes, that was something that actually I noticed a lot more and appreciated, was the whole East India Trading Company subplot and realizing they're the real pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I get it now. It has more than one meaning. So good. Jeanette.
So I'll lead in with that the East India Trading Company. I love that whole plot line, and I really wish that it played. And I guess maybe it's like I kind of wish it would tie into C.
I know. I'm working on a video. Don't worry.
I really feel like that could be a thing. And I will take Punsy's lead, and where she said that the first one had all those scenes from the ride. When I rewatched this time, what I noticed was that I think, and this is a bold statement, and this will be news alert, the first time I've ever said this hot take, but I've definitely felt it before. They could have kept the original Pirates in Disneyland. They didn't lean far enough into Pirates of the Caribbean in Disney World's Pirates of the Caribbean. Instead of just sticking Jack into it, if you took some of those like little walkways over the thing and made like that little bridge where the bone cages were, and like there was so much potential to take this second movie and inspire the ride. Like I see so many moments when I'm like, oh my God, that'd be amazing. That'd be so cool. That looks like Adventureland. Oh my God. Like, I really think they could have ran with this one. And I don't think I noticed it at the time. It was 2006. You know, what did we know? You just got an Expedition Everest, and the Yeti might have still worked. Oh, who knows? It was a great world. So like, you know, who cared about Pirates of the Caribbean? But I feel like if you would have leaned into this and really themed up that ride and completely changed some scenes, this particular movie would have had staying power, because it does transfer into the third one. So by proxy, the whole trilogy would have been more like enrooted in Disney. And when I rewatched this one, I was like, oh my God. And it was that's why I think it's a great sequel, because I was like, oh, I would have totally bought this had they done it back in, 2006, 2007 when it came out. Had they changed the whole ride, I'd have been like, yeah, that's great. This is a sequel to the ride, right? Like, this is the sequel.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great sequel.
Yeah. They could have kept some of those scenes too, because there is some scenes that are reminiscent of the ride, like when they throw him into the pig's pen rather than having like that other guy that's there. They could have just thrown him in there since they were redoing animatronics. Why not redo
all of
that
it?
one?
I feel like they should have leaned into it more instead of just sticking Jack into what was there.
Yeah.
In
Not
Disney
like
World,
I would have loved to
that
see
would have been
fish
awesome.
people animatronics. That would have been fun.
Maybe not the fish people so much, but the
I want
storyline.
the fish people.
Them and the things, the cages swinging over you, like that'd have been so super cool. Fish people, I'm totally on board with the fish people. And you know what, Morgie? You do find out, although they do tell you a little bit in this one why. But in the next one, there's like a whole thing.
Bit,
yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that the sea has just overtaken them after the years.
Let's step aside. Don't tell Morgie. Is the whole part of the crew part of the in this one, or is it in the next one?
Next one. More in the next one.
Wait, what?
What is this code?
See, look, Punzy knows what the heck I'm talking about. She knows.
I love these movies. I know.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad we got this like inner,
It'll all make sense next week.
Yeah, it's hinted a little bit in this one, but then it's like it's a bigger part.
I thought so. And see, that's what I mean. These movies are totally entwined in my head. I thought these two movies were the same thing. They're not.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like this will be my not even a hot take. This will be my take next week, is that my opinion will probably be that these two movies could have been condensed into one really good movie.
Yeah, but it would have been 4 hours long.
This one was basically 4 hours long.
In this movie, how they killed the dog. Well, they imply the dog is now food.
Oh, that dog will always survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until
like,
I see it in the next movie, I will not believe it.
The monkey and the parrot are still alive. The dog's a-okay.
no, the dog has merch. Like, that dog is not dying. There's dog merch.
Go on the ride. He's still there. He's fine.
Yeah. No, well, I thought the same thing when they started chasing him, but then I just told myself the dog never dies in a movie. Unless it's like a Meryl Streep Oscar bait drama. The dog never dies. It's a rule in Hollywood.
Oh,
So
that's a bunny.
what?
Are you talking about? Oh, no,
No, that's
she's not
Glenn
in
Close.
that. That's Glenn Close.
That's Glenn
Yeah.
Close.
See?
Ah,
Two different animal deaths. What are we
What
talking
know.
about?
movie are you talking about? That
Fatal Attraction.
Don't watch it. Don't
Morgan,
watch
you're
it,
too
Morgan.
You're
You're
too
too
young.
young.
Don't worry. Don't worry. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Rosie has a fantastic question. Let's dig into this. Comparing Captain Jack in the first movie to the latest film, has Johnny Depp's growth in character, performance, development apparent? So how do we feel about Jack as he's portrayed in this movie? I feel like Libby has thoughts. Libby, what
I
are
have
they?
So many thoughts. Okay.
The hair
So-
flip. You're ready.
So the first three movies, this is why they are perfect, because it shows his arc, and like I could do a whole video about it. I might.
You should.
Yes. It's about how Jack is a pirate and everything, and Elizabeth is this, like, she's this proper lady, but no, she's actually the pirate and he's a good man. And it's like shown a lot in this movie, and then you'll see it even more like come to fruition in the next movie of how Elizabeth is actually the pirate of the movies and Jack Sparrow is actually just like a good man. And you find out a little bit more about like his backstory and stuff like that, which is really cool. But he does such a good job in the first three movies doing that and showing that character growth and everything like that. And I think everybody thought that it was done. But of course, Johnny Depp loves being Jack Sparrow, and we love him as Jack Sparrow. So they were like, let's do some more movies. And they did the fourth one and the fifth one. And the fourth one wasn't as a detriment to his character. They were trying to go a little bit more into him as a character. But I think they just went about it wrong with like the writing. It's not to say that Johnny Depp isn't good at portraying his character, because he is, but it's just the writing of his character was like, let's give him a romantic interest and like try to make that work in the fourth one, and that just
What?
didn't work well. Yeah. And then
I mean, he has a romantic interest in this one. Let's be
Like,
two
a
romantic
little bit.
interests. I'd be honest, because
Yeah.
what's her face, who I called you know what earlier, and then Elizabeth Swan. So just
Yeah.
saying.
And then the fifth one, they just completely made him basically a caricature of what Captain Jack Sparrow is. Because Captain Jack Sparrow, yes, he's a drunk, but he is smart and he is very clever. And he is never just flying by the seat of his pants. He always has like some bigger plan that you don't realize until he gets to the end of his plan. And in the fifth one, I feel like they just made him just this drunk, bumbling idiot.
Oh,
So
makes me
over
so
time,
sad.
I don't think it was done as well. Not to say that Johnny Depp doesn't do a good job portraying him. It's just the writing of him just got so watered down over time. That's my
Watered
hot take.
down.
Ha ha.
'Cause-
Hot take with Pussy.
That just reaffirming my decision to not have seen 5 when it came out. I'm going to now for this.
It's worth it for
Right.
just like a 2-minute scene at the
It's
end.
the pirate
and then
shark, isn't it?
you get the fruition at the end. And then you're like, okay, that's all I needed. I could have had the whole movie in 5 minutes, and that's fine.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that'll be. I can't wait. That'll be
I'll
fun.
have so many thoughts.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And how, Jeanette, Morgan, how do you feel about Captain Jack in this movie in terms of growth, whether it's there or not from the first one?
Morgan.
I've only ever seen these two, so I can't say much. Like, I feel like he's still the same kind of guy he was in the first one. I think though at the end, like the fact that he doesn't just jump away and swim away. I mean, like he really couldn't, but like he probably could have figured it out. I think him and Elizabeth's relationship, I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Oh,
I hate
really? You
I have,
hate
I
it?
have, I have so much to say. Well,
I
that's gonna
have
be
so
that's
much
gonna be
to
the
say
next
about
question.
it.
We'll
I'm
get
gonna
into
keep
this.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep saying it's really strong opinions, and I was literally screaming at my TV about it yesterday. I think you see a lot more of his selfish side in this movie than you did in the last one. Like, we knew he was selfish in the last one, but this one, you really see it. But you also see, like, how smart he is by playing into what the people want, like what the cannibals want. and stuff like that. And then he stays on the boat to protect his friends, which I really liked. And he did go back for them, which he didn't have to, but he did. And so I think that's going to start to be his good man arc. But then, like, can I say what happens at the end?
Oh, yeah.
The fact that he died, I was like, well, I'm assuming he's not dead because he's in the later ones.
Yeah.
But, like, the fact that he's like,
it's like the pirate dog.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he got eaten. I had no idea. I was like, what's happening?
Well, I think, and I even remember when I saw this in theaters, it didn't hit me that hard just because I knew logically, like, he's not dead. Like, it's
Right.
You don't kill off Captain Jack Sparrow when there's
He
another
looks
movie
pretty
coming.
dead.
Well, we don't see him. We just see the Kraken.
Yeah. And let me say, I'll start my answer off to this by saying that scene is because they can't put sex scenes in Disney movies. Because when she's talking to him and she's like, but I'm a, and he's like, pirate. And she just zooms off and then he's dead. It's like, that was like the sexiest scene ever in all the Pirates movies when she's like this far away from his face. And
And then their mouths are like,
pirate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Keira Knightley has like that perfect, like, oh my God. It is that scene Twitter-pated. Needless, like, that's me Twitter-pated. So I
Bambi reference.
totally, where you hate their relationship, I'm like, oh yes, this particular episode of this franchise, I am totally in on their relationship because it is like distraught and weird and awesome. So I'm totally in on Jack and Elizabeth.
I don't disagree that she's like sexy and she's like giving that off, and I love that. However, when I saw Orlando Bloom's face, I died.
Oh, Orlando Bloom is the most wussy pirate ever. I'm so done with Orlando Bloom, but in this one,
he's a blacksmith.
He's at least mildly better. So, like, I like him more in this one. So that's where I was going to go with this. Is Jack and Johnny is Johnny. He's amazing, like, no matter what. Mm-hmm. The person I think that shines in this, and I love this whole stinking actor family, is Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh, yeah.
I just love him so much. I love all the Skarsgårds. They're all fantastic actors. Every single one of them. It is amazing. Forget the Kennedys, forget the Royals, forget all the famous families. I take the Skarsgårds any day of the week. I think he's such a great actor. He's the dad. He is Bootstrap.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So him and Johnny, the scenes they're in together, and him and Bill Nighy, the scenes they're in together, I'm like, oh, these are like powerhouses on screen together. And there would sell a rather ridiculous story as a serious adventure story. Without their acting, I'm sorry, but Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom are not selling this as a serious story if they're in fish makeup. These guys, they're selling it.
Not to spoil, doesn't Orlando Bloom go down that route in a future movie?
Hey, see, I said that. See, look, Morgan. You're going to get it, Morgan. You're going to get it.
Let's jump in here. Mary's here.
Hi, Mary.
Woo. I'm surprised you played Jack Sparrow's father. Ooh, that's exciting for next week.
Yeah.
This is making me want to just,
I'm
probably going to watch the next one.
I'm not going to be here.
Oh, you'll see, Morgan. Don't worry. Oh, Royal City Pops Guelph, Mike. So happy you can join us. I hope you're feeling okay. So good to have you. It's one of my Funko friends, a fellow Canadian. Always a joy. I mean, I think I echo the same things. I think I have no issues with any of the actors in this cast. Quite the contrary. I love this entire cast. I think the movie is perfectly cast for all the roles. I still love Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley for the roles that they're doing. Like I've said since the beginning when Pirates came up, I think they play that type very well. And on top of it, I think they're both really good actors. I think Keira Knightley's had a bit more of a chance to show her range in her career than Orlando has. I also read a really funny article that said Keira Knightley is the Nick Cage of her generation. in terms of being an actor who makes really bold, big choices when they could have had a very safe career.
I wish she had the same choices as
I
Nicole
think, like,
Kidman.
when you think of some of the like stuff that she's done, like that terrible Nutcracker movie, her performance is the only thing that's engaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Domino. Domino is like one of my favorite movies of hers.
Oh, I have to watch Domino.
Oh, it's very
But
good.
this marathon is reminding me that I do very much enjoy her as an actor more than I thought I did. And Elizabeth had a lot more, not even Elizabeth, Keira Knightley had a lot more range in this film than I remembered. And the same thing that I was going to say about Johnny Depp and Jack Sparrow is that almost all of my issues are narrative and to do with the writing, because I think the material that they've been given, they do a fantastic job with. I think Jack Sparrow for me shines more in the first movie because he is very much the smartest character who is controlling everything, and I just love that. And he has that element in this movie as well, but I think he's portrayed more as the comedic relief and like leaning into the Sparrow-isms that everyone knew and loved. But when I think back to Black Pearl, just how he commands every scene he's in, especially when he's able to manipulate Barbossa, saying like, you take over that ship, you become a Commodore, let me be the captain of this. And just like, you know what you're doing, and everything is so calculated and so brilliant. And I was kind of missing that edge from him in this film, but that's, I'm aware very much because of the writing. But to segue into Elizabeth and Jack, into the Sparrow Swan romance, I hate it. No, this is why I hate it. I don't hate those characters together. I hate it because I feel like it's retconning Black Pearl to imply that there was already a connection between the two of them when it was the exact opposite. Like the time they spent on the island was just her manipulating him so that.
But was it? Was it?
Yes.
No. It
I
seemed
don't
like
believe
someone
so.
watched that scene. It seemed like whoever wrote this movie watched that scene and was like, "Oh, they're together," and watched none of the rest of the movie. And and then when they found out that
there was a thing when
like,
she had to put his gear back on him on the freaking dock. Okay, there was a thing. It was with the eyes. There was a thing. So.
Okay, maybe. I just feel like that relationship I would be on board with, but I felt like it moved too quickly to the point where, like, as soon as she gets the compass, it's pointing to Jack. I'm like, no. Like, the compass isn't pointing to Jack yet.
It's a love and lust thing.
Well, I think it's definitely a lust thing. For sure.
Will is love and he is lust. That's kind of the point, right?
I guess.
That's kind of what okay, ask Ponzi. Yeah. She looks like she's got some feelings.
Yeah. What do you think?
Some feelings. Give me some feelings.
Okay. So I don't see Jack and Elizabeth together at all. I never saw them as like they're going to be a relationship thing. I always ever saw it as Elizabeth using Jack because, again, I think she is the number one pirate. And she's the one who's using Jack all the way through. Even in the putting the stuff on him scene, even at the end when she kisses him, that is solely to keep him there so she can get everybody else away. Which, like, could be seen as noble, but it's like, it's more to save her skin. And she's like, let's sacrifice Jack anyway.
She's not sorry.
No, she's not sorry. And, like, she feels, like, maybe a little bit guilty because she sees how it, like, affected Will. But she's, like, actually not that guilty at all. To me, I love that they put it in there because it shows that Elizabeth isn't just, like, the little damsel in the movie. It shows that she is actually, like, a depth in character. She has, wants and lusts and feelings like that. And with the compass pointing to Jack, is it pointing to Jack or is it pointing to, you are a pirate, you want to be a pirate, you've always wanted to be a pirate?
Okay.
That's what I thought too. Oh my god, yes.
Because at the very beginning, Black Pearl, she is singing about pirates. She wears a pirate medallion her whole life.
She's so intrigued.
She wants to be a pirate so bad.
Oh, I'm so glad somebody else thinks this. So I was like, it's not pointing to him because it's lustful, but at the same time, there's like a whole other thing to it.
Yeah.
He's a pirate.
But she doesn't see it as like, oh, do I want Jack? It's like, no, sweetie, you don't want Jack.
Go with the pirate. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I'll buy.
Yeah.
That's now my headcanon. I accept it.
But then
Yes.
my
Yeah.
whole thing is, then why is there that scene where she is telling him all she wants to do is be married, like that's whatever. But then right after that, there's a scene where she is like, oh, but you would never soil my honor like that, whatever, and is trying to kiss. Like she is fully trying to kiss him in that scene. And he doesn't.
No, she's trying to manipulate him. She's trying to figure out, because she knows about the compass. So she's trying to figure out where the heck it's pointed. She's like, so do you want me, or is it like something else? And she figures it out. It's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a whole, Punzi gets it. This is like
making me want to rewatch the movie, but I don't want to rewatch this movie.
It's a whole plot point.
Like I understand, like it's pointing to him because of that, but I think it's also like she just, I don't know, I just don't like it. Like I could see it as, if they were to be anything, it would be nothing more than a hookup, which I'm like, I don't.
But you can't do that in a Disney movie, so they make some crazy death scene where you tell somebody that you're a pirate and then they get eaten by a giant squid.
Kraken.
I understand. Yes, I know, but I feel like I just don't. I mean, Disney's all about innuendos. Like, let's be real.
Right.
And
These
I feel
movies
like
are the best.
this is that innuendo. It's that innuendo that she just wants to get like laid. She's not about getting. She doesn't really care about getting married. She just wants to like.
No, she does, but she
that.
also cares about that too.
But she,
I think that's what I mean. It's love and lust, and she's a freaking pirate at heart. Like, yeah. I think it's and Will is a pirate at heart in his blood, and he doesn't know it. They're all freaking pirates.
They're all pirates. They're all even the good people are pirates.
Yeah.
East India Trading Company.
All the bad people are the people who are not pirates.
It's not called Pirates and the Good People of the Caribbean. It's called Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
There are multiple types of pirates. Innuendo. It's a Wicked reference.
I just don't like it. I hate that how she manipulates him, and he just plays into it.
Hate
I
it?
feel like he's way too smart to do that. Like he's way too smart to play into it.
But that's the point they're making. She's the better pirate.
Yeah.
Well,
and he's a good man.
Yeah.
He is a good man.
And they're both curious. There's curiosity.
He's a sexy man with eyeliner who's a good guy. I mean, what more can you ask for?
I can't get over that. Now I'm entertaining the idea that every sex scene in every movie is just going to be replaced with a kraken, with sacrificing someone to a kraken.
That scene, I was like, what are they about?
Casablanca.
I was like, did I forget?
He goes
this?
to Rick and she's like, I want the papers, and then she throws them to the kraken. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it now.
That's it.
Oh my god.
What in the Pirate Bachelor am I about to watch?
Dude, get down on it. It's scandalous.
No, he receives a swan.
He receives a kraken.
Yeah,
also,
kraken.
I hated. Side note: when they are looking for the chest, Elizabeth in that scene, I'm just like, go away! You are so annoying.
Oh, I loved Elizabeth. She was the one speaking the truth, where she was like, "Guys, stop fighting."
But
it was so cute.
She left the chest.
Oh yeah, well that wasn't smart.
Yeah, that was
like,
comedy.
All four of you are being super dumb, and you trying to stop boys from fighting because I've done it.
Throwing the sand.
It's my career.
She should have sat down with a bottle of rum and just watched the show.
Yeah. My favorite was.
If she had a bottle of rum, it probably.
Oh yeah. They don't care that she fainted. That usually works.
I was feeling faint, and she falls, and she's like, ah.
So good.
Oh,
I just hate that because she's literally trying to play into the Commodore's old love for her. And I'm like, honey, you rejected him and he ended up broke. He has no love for you.
I love his character. Can we talk about his character evolution?
Oh, yeah.
Because the scene where he's both puking over the dock and still speaking truths at the same time, I'm like, you get it, dude. You have lived your life. You were successful and lost it all because of this butthead, and you still aren't going to shoot him on sight. Good for you. Good for you.
I liked when he was able to turn on Will when Jack manipulated him. Like, that was a good classic Jack Sparrow manipulation. That's what I wanted more of. But no, he says, unfortunately, he's right. That was so good. Like, yeah, Norrington. You grew a spine. I
I
respect
do
you in
think
this
the
movie.
sword scene though was a little overplayed and a little long. Like
Which one?
I
Oh,
thought
the
that
triple
could have
sword
ended.
fight.
Oh,
Yeah, I
it
was
was
like,
great, though.
can we just get to the wheel already?
Can we just talk about how
Come on.
everybody in this movie just had a slight bit more dirt on them? That was the makeup decision. Elizabeth, just a little more dirt.
A bit more
Jack,
dirt.
little more dirt. Will, little more dirt. Same thing with Norrington. Everybody, just a little more dirt on the face.
Norrington
good.
had a lot more dirt.
That's true. Norrington did. I was entertained at this trope. Always entertains me that all it takes for a girl in this era to pass off as a boy is putting on a hat and pants.
Yeah, and tucking
and
her
then they
hair
just-
up into
yeah.
it. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Because that was honestly, so let me tell you a little story. Flashback to the early 2000s. Young Jeanette, totally obsessed with Keira Knightley, used to cut my hair stupidly short because that was how she kept her hair. Domino, everything. And then in this movie, when she had that look, I was like, that's it, chopping all my hair off. And I used to keep my hair so short because I thought I looked just like Keira Knightley. Totally delusional.
But she had a braid in the back.
Yeah, I know. I thought that the whole like little flip out under the hat was super cute. So my hair was like up here.
That
Very
sounds
cute.
adorable.
Hair pulled forward. Yeah.
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 I also don't understand how she stowed away on that ship and then just left the dress.
I did love how that taught people though about old like sailor tales.
Oh, I
And
like
how-
that.
Yeah,
Totally.
I love how that brought that storyline in. So you actually got a little bit of history tied up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool because, like, down in, especially again, growing up in New Orleans, you get a lot of privateer tales and Jean Lafitte and all that. So, like,
Oh,
you
that's
learn
so
a lot
true.
about pirate culture. And that's a really cool little thing, little trope about women being on board and it's bad luck. And, like, actually, like, being like, whenever bad things would happen, if there was a woman on board, they would throw her overboard to hope to alleviate the issues.
Oh, is that why they
That
always
was-
walk the plank? Is that why that's a thing?
Yeah. So, like, if there was a woman on board, whether they had a wench or a wife
Yeah.
or a whatever, they'd be like, oh, there's bad luck on board. Off you go because you're the cause
Oh
of
my
it.
gosh.
Yeah.
No. Well, speaking of wenches, I'm glad we got another Scarlet cameo. Just
Right.
the
I
underrated
thought of you
hero.
when I saw that. Yeah.
Yes. Did anyone watch?
Was it though? Because she had brown hair.
I think it was the
brown
same-
and a blonde.
I think it
Not
was the
gray.
same actress. I
It
hope
was
it
reddish
was.
brown. It was dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to believe it was still Scarlet. She deserves like her own spin-off, I maintain. But again, I still think it's going to be Margot Robbie as like her sister. That's the movie I've written for her in my head. We'll see though. Did anyone
really
watch
hope it's not
Wedlocked?
Jungle Cruise.
Did anyone
No,
watch
I
Wedlocked?
didn't.
It's so good. Oh, well, the only person I sent it to was Mary. Mary, are you still there? Did you watch Wedlocked? It's hilarious. That's all I have to say about that. Punzi, do you know about Wedlocked, about the pirate short film, about the wenches?
No.
There's a short film. It's 10 minutes long, and it's the bride auction scene from the original ride just turned into a movie. So they have Scarlet and then the blonde wench, and it's their wedding day, but they're both engaged to Jack Sparrow, and they don't realize it. And then they end up at the bride auction, and it's hilarious.
So
Mary!
Was it an extra on the DVD?
No, I don't even know why it was made. It wasn't on the DVD. It
I
just
was like
exists.
before the internet was like,
Fanfic.
what it
like,
is.
To the next
No,
Yeah.
it plays to me as one of those things where it was kind of like a calling card piece for a director who was I think he was actively involved like as one of the art directors, and maybe it was a pitch for him to potentially direct a future pirate movie. So that was like a test project for him. I think he might have even directed like, no, he didn't do 4, and I don't think he did 5. So never mind. He didn't actually get to direct a pirate movie, but he directed a movie that was successful eventually. So I think it was just one of those Hollywood like testing the waters, pun kind of intended type of things. But I highly recommend everyone watch it. The really cool thing is that it opens with like the classic Disney storybook opening, but it's like a pirate book, and it says Tales from the Caribbean or something. And to me, that
Aw.
implies that there would have been more, but then there weren't, and I wish there were.
I got while we're on this note.
His nerdy's here.
Oh,
Jeanette,
hey.
How are you in 2 places at once?
I'm in 2 places at once. Oh my
Right?
gosh. My network has followed me home. No. So a totally different franchise.
Yeah.
Well, hopeful franchise. I don't want a sequel to the one before. I want a new
No,
one.
no one does.
But while we're on this tangent, I kind of hoped that, like I said before, that they would have changed the ride. and that we would have gotten more things, I guess, kind of Star Wars-esque, where we would have gotten more things in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
If that's
Yes.
not going too far. Jack Sparrow is fantastic, and I honestly, I'll take 15 Jack Sparrow movies. I'm sure Punzi sympathizes. I'll watch them all, right? Like if they keep putting them out, I'll still watch them, even if they're not that great. But I will still watch them because they're Jack Sparrow. But I would take some other things in this universe, something else to just flush out, because they've given so much depth. And I'm like, if you can branch off in Star Wars, you can do it in this one.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. No, I think this is definitely a universe that could merit from expansion, which again is part of the video eventually I'm going to make. I've written half of it, but I think the only reason, because knowing logically that we're going to get 2 more pirate movies, I think the only reason to have more pirate movies is if you're going to expand the universe into something beyond what we've already seen, like an exploration of other characters within there. Because outside of Jack Sparrow, who's a great character, yeah, there's so much potential for other
Right. There's no reason we have to stick with him. He's not a Skywalker. There's nothing tying us down to his storyline. There's a million other pirates and stuff going on. And the only expansion we've gotten is Jake and the Neverland pilots? The pilots?
Pirates.
Jake and the Neverland Pirates on Disney Junior.
Wait, that's not Pirates of the Caribbean. That's Peter Pan.
Oh, that is Peter Pan. But I feel like they tie in other stuff, though. I feel like they tie in other pirates. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like whenever Nola watched it, there were other pirates on there.
I believe it.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I feel like there was a pirates crossover there. Mini pirates.
No, wouldn't surprise me. I think one thing that's interesting that the film does, or that the series does, is how they manage to introduce new piratey characters kind of as a gimmick, I think, with every film. So like in this one, and we haven't really discussed Davy Jones all that much, so we probably should. But yeah, like we get Davy Jones in this one, then Blackbeard shows up in the 4th one. I don't know who shows up in the 5th one, but I think it's Javier Bardem as a pirate. It's not a spoiler, it's a cast list.
It's not spoiler.
It's a cast list. They're on the poster.
Don't worry, it's all good.
Yeah. Blackbeard. That's a guy. He shows up. But how did we feel about Squidbeard Man?
As not what I ever imagined him to look like.
Davy Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently Davy Jones wasn't a real pirate. Well, I guess I knew he wasn't a real pirate, but I thought he was a legit figure of myth, but it seems like Disney just invented him based on the phrase Davy Jones's locker. And that was a surprise to me. I thought he was like a Blackbeard, but no, it's just, there it is. What do we have here?
I feel like I remember a SpongeBob episode where it's either Blackbeard or Davy Jones. I want to say it's Davy Jones, though.
The Flying Dutchman?
Oh, no, it's Flying Dutchman. Never.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's Davy Jones. Shit,
no,
right?
In SpongeBob, his name is the Flying Dutchman, but in this movie, the Flying Dutchman is the ship.
But it is an old tale, and yes, Davy.
Oh, the Flying Dutchman
they're all
totally a thing.
Intertwined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much like they said in this one, I thought his heart belonged to the sea. Oh, I thought it was a woman. Oh, I thought it was
same story, different versions.
Exactly.
Yeah. All of them true.
Yeah. I thought, because I remember Davy Jones, I remember hearing a story about Davy Jones, the reason he has what they call the Davy Jones locker is because he got something with a girl he liked, he got played or something, I don't know, and that's why his heart's in the box.
Yes, watch next week. You have to watch the movie, and that's what I'm talking about.
Maybe it's from that, but I was just like, what is I was like, why is he so upset about Orlando and his wife?
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! That's my favorite part when all of that happens. All of that crushing heartache happens, and I'm so mad I'm not here next week.
Oh, is this for next week's movie, The Crushing Heartache?
Yes. It makes me so both sad and happy at the same time, because the movie making is extraordinary and the writing is extraordinary and the acting is so good. You guys are in for a treat.
Well, you could see it in his face. So I knew it has something to do with that, because every time they mentioned him being engaged, like that made him like more like that made Davy Jones even more
Yep.
mad. And then when he was like, "That's my son," then he was like, "Oh, well, now you're gonna do it." Like, and you can tell he doesn't like love for whatever reason, and his heart being in a box kind of makes sense. I feel like this whole movie needs so much more explanation, and because they filmed it at the same time,
You're gonna get the explanation. I feel like this is how I felt in 2006 when this movie came out. I remember these feelings, and after rewatching today, I remember these feelings of like, I feel so cheated. There's no answer. Where are we? And like Punzi gets me. I see her nodding her head. Like, I remember going to the movie theater and being like, I feel so cheated.
But like, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like because they shot it together at the same time or like back to back, they were like, oh, it's no problem that like this doesn't happen. And I'm sure because they had to go different places that they probably shot both films at the exact same time.
Oh yeah.
So they were like, oh, this is where my character has to go. So I feel like they thought a lot was going to be explained in this movie. And then when they edited it, they were like, oh, no, let's not explain anything. And let's just put it all in the third one. And I'm just like, this makes no, like, if I were to see this movie in theaters, I would have never saw the third one because I'd be like, this is garbage.
It was honestly the most sequel-y of sequels because you went in and you got all this story and then you were like, no.
Oh my gosh. Libby, what do you think about Squidman Beard?
He's such a good actor.
He is.
He really is. And I think it's so just intriguing to just watch him in every scene because he takes away every single scene and it's just so fun to watch. And the way that he like characterized him, like the way he talks is so a character. Like it's not just the actor, it's a character. It is Davy Jones. And it's so interesting because it's not, I feel like it's weird. It's hard to say because when he was doing the acting, he was not in special effects makeup at all. He was in like motion cap stuff. So like that's hard for the characters to look at this guy who's supposed to be intimidating and he's like in like a gray bodysuit. Yeah. So good on them for being able to react to that. But also like he was in that, but he was still, the way he talked still made it seem like he was talking as if he did have tentacles on his face, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that. I don't know why. I like his tentacles moving. I thought it was like fascinating to watch.
Well, it's definitely also just a testament to how good the special effects are in this film.
I was just about to say the CGI holds up so well when you watch him act with people. You're like, oh my God, he's really still there. And when I saw this in theaters, he was very much there. And on this rewatch, I was a little nervous. Like I've said before, with all these movies that involve special effects, I was like, is it still going to look that good?
It holds up. And like,
holds up well.
People still note that it's one of the best like CGI movies of all time.
I had no idea it was CGI.
Oh yeah, no, a lot of people still think
that was actual practical makeup.
Oh yeah, I thought.
Yeah.
Oh my.
No,
go back and watch The Fly, and you'll see what actual practical makeup looks like.
Oh my gosh!
But I thought it was prosthetics or something that they put on his face, and then they just added more with CGI.
Yeah, no, it's all CG.
I had no idea. Like,
friends, we have a special guest joining us, joining in this conversation from We Like Theme Parks. It's Bondo.
Break up me hearties, yo ho.
Yo ho. Are you in Niagara Falls?
No, I'm right on the waterfront in Toronto. I'm still in the office here.
He's in fancy pants land.
One Young Street.
It looked like the Skylon Tower behind you. I was gonna say, are you in Niagara?
It's the Weston Harbor
Come
Castle.
hang out with me. Oh,
that's the Weston Harbor Castle. I'm still at work. I'm stuck here after rehearsal.
Oh,
doing some work at One Young Street, home of Starbucks Entertainment and Immersive Van Gogh.
I went there. It was so magical.
Did you have a good time?
I had a great. There's a video that's gonna happen eventually. Like I haven't spoken about it yet, but I have the footage from when I was there. Yeah, it was so good. It was so good.
Well, I got to tell you, the water is right over there, and it's making me feel piratical.
Oh, I realize not everyone knows who you are. Introduce yourself.
Well, I mean, I'm Chris from Bondo from We Like Theme Parks.
Bondo Chris Bond.
On the Disnerdy Network with Tinker J over there. And I love these movies. And when Tinker J told me that you guys are doing this, I think I reached out to you, Matt. I was like, oh, I love this. I love these movies. Even though I could just come here and just say that. I love these movies.
Love the
It's
movies.
pretty great. So
Oh, I was just so excited to see
I'm
you in the
skipping
chat
out on
just
my
now.
own show. I'm not even at my our. We're both.
I
skipping
know,
out.
right? We're
I know,
so
right?
Like Parks is on right now, and I'm here.
I know, right?
Don't tell
Well,
nobody.
no, your
But
secret's
feel
safe
free
with
to
me.
watch. We like theme parks later, but for
Yes,
now,
obviously. But now you're here. It's fantastic. So
yeah.
I mean, you had so many amazing things in the chat that I was like, just come on the show and say them all.
Oh, okay.
Respond.
Well, where do I start, man?
Where do you start?
I heard someone was confused about this movie. Is that what I heard? Someone was
Morgan.
confused. Morgan. Morgan, it's so good. You need another watch, Morgan. You know what? There's a lot going on.
Chris, you realize we're talking about the second one, though.
I
not
know.
Black Pearl. Oh, okay. Just you
I
said it's so
love
good with
Dead
so much
Man's Chest. Dead Man's Chest is
enthusiasm.
amazing.
Okay.
I don't think this is confusing. The third movie is where it gets a little bit like, okay, but I'm there for it.
Great. People are telling me that it's going to answer all my questions. And I'm like, wait, is it?
It answers all the questions.
It will. But it's set up so delicately and beautifully here. And what I love about this movie is the first movie was so great. Like you can almost say it's a perfect movie.
It is a perfect movie.
Story-wise, character-wise, forget all the other like effects and nonsense, but just rooted in a character arc, an A story, a B story, a love interest, a hero, a jaded hero. It's all there. And it's done so masterfully because Jeffrey Rush is in this movie.
Yes.
And Jeffrey Rush is an Oscar award-winning superstar. And Johnny Depp is amazing. And he got the nomination, obviously, for Black Pearl. But Jeffrey Rush takes this movie and carries it on his back. And you fall in love with this weighted villain. And you are down for, because what's amazing what Disney does so well is there's some pretty scary members of his crew, but then he's got the silly ones and the monkey that offset everything. So it's so perfect. But when they, the reveal that they're dead and they're skeleton, so cool. So how do you top that? You think I got Jeffrey Rush and I got skeleton pirates. How are you going to top this?
Bill Nye and fish pirates.
You get Bill Nighy and make him a fish squid man. And these incredible effects with all these far more terrifying pirates.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, the villains from the first movie are the heroes.
Yeah.
Like my heart explodes. The people you fell in love with the first one are now taking the ball and carrying it over the goal line against this even more dastardly and incredible villain. And then at the end, when they bring back the villain from the first movie, film with the third movie, just take my money. Take my money. It is so good. And the reason why it's so good, friends, not only the storytelling, the writing, and all the effects and stuff, but it is the portrayals by these incredible Oscar award nominated winning actors, and that sets the movie apart. And I gotta say, no Rock. Why do you think the Jungle Cruise was just the Jungle Cruise? Don't get me wrong. I love, what's her name? She's wonderful.
Emily Blunt.
Thank you. She's amazing.
Yeah, but she's a better Mary Poppins than some whatever the hell she was in
She's
Jungle
incredible.
Cruise.
The Rock just gets in her way and stumbles and bumbles through that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you really needed a real performer. And think of all the great people you had in Pirates. It wasn't just Jeffrey Rush or just Johnny Depp.
No, I just said Stellan Skarsgård. Stellan Skarsgård steals this
the ensemble
movie.
The guy who plays Joshua Gibbs kind of is the
I don't even
anchor
know that guy's name.
I love him.
of this movie.
He's my favorite character.
He's kind of the audience surrogate. Like he's like, I'll tell you a tale of. He's almost kind of the narrator. Aye, these waters.
He's like Scuttle. He's the Scuttle.
He's the Scuttle. Yeah.
Gary Scuttle.
Yeah.
Yes.
So every time you feel like, where are we? I'm not sure. There comes. Yeah. Gibbs is like, Libby, let me tell you what be about these.
I'm the exposition now.
Ian,
it's the squid scene.
I will take that. That is
rips, and then they show Gibbs. I was like, do not kill Gibbs. If you
you can never kill Gibbs. Don't touch Gibbs.
But he's like the Smee. He always lives on. He's always there for the boat to pick up Captain Hook. I love it. I love the scene later where I can't remember which movie. It's like all the movies.
Wait.
They're down on their luck and And
Yeah,
Captain
Marty,
Jack's like,
don't worry,
got
we're
me a
not gonna
boat
kill
here,
you.
and Joshua Gibbs like, to the water. And it's like, we're back. And that's all we want is to be back. So anyway, I feel like this movie really did such an amazing job kind of hitting the mark where it was put so high after the first movie, because that movie nobody was banking on. People were like, oh, pirates, Johnny Depp, I don't know. And then they saw it and they were like, wow, right? This guy, Johnny Depp, got an Oscar nomination for a movie that no real Oscar judge would take seriously.
And
but he
nowadays it
had
still
to.
doesn't get nominated. Like that movie, him getting and he hadn't really gotten any like he'd gotten recognition, but he hadn't gotten one. And like, you know, like that's just this kind of movie getting an Oscar nomination was kind of a big deal back then.
It was.
Now maybe not, but back then, yeah.
It was a groundbreaker. I'm telling
Bondo,
you.
I know you're a Jeffrey Rush lover. I know you love Barbossa. He's your favorite. Can I give news alert, hot take on my Barbossa? If anybody else was going to play Barbossa, John Malkovich would have been a fantastic Barbossa.
I only think of him from being John Malkovich, where he's himself. That's all I've seen him in.
I like it. I like it.
I feel like John Malkovich would have been a great Barbossa.
I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. You never know.
I don't want a Pirates where there's no Jeffrey Rush as Barbossa, because he is like, he's my he's my heart of the first movie. When he doesn't get his apple, my heart breaks. When he gets his apple at the end of this movie, so satisfying.
That was really satisfying.
And you can tell he's enjoying it. It was amazing. I loved it. But it's what's that? We find out. I think the crabs masquerading as a lady made it happen somehow or something. We'll find out next week. But no, like, just to go back to what Chris Bond was saying, I think the reason that the franchise, or the first movie at least, worked to launch everything is because they took the genre seriously. There wasn't anything that was tongue in cheek. They committed to making a beautiful period movie that had all these fun fantasy elements that didn't feel like they were shoehorned in. And I think that's where, when you compare it to something like Jungle Cruise, that's where you see how Jungle Cruise didn't do as well, because it did a lot of the things opposite. They went for a very bankable Hollywood cast, whereas Pirates, I think, was pretty evenly balanced between having prestige actors like Jeffrey Rush, having Johnny Depp, and having like the teenage appeal people like Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom. But again, my take on them is to cast people for those roles. I think they cast the best capable actors who were in that like style, who were the ingenues of the time. And then Jungle Cruise it was a rehash of what worked in Pirates, and that's why it didn't work in Jungle Cruise, because they just gave us jungle variants.
They took two people that have been overused to their nth degree in general.
That's true too. Yeah.
And are like, here's another one for you. And it's like, but I'm so confused. This person is already these people, and this person is already these people. How am I? Yeah, there's no difference between the characters.
I mean, The Rock is The Rock. He just gives you The Rock in every portrayal.
He's
real not an actor. He's The Rock. Look, I like The Rock. I like The Rock. I like a good Rock. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down for some Rock. But to anchor the Jungle Cruise, they went with their most bankable star that they thought would sell the most tickets, quite frankly, and weren't invested in. It felt like they weren't invested in the long view of the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, no, we needed somebody who was the old grandfatherly Albert Falls type, right? Yeah. We're getting off on a Jungle Cruise.
Albert's going to come in the sequel. I'm still invested in the Seaverse. It's going to happen.
Right.
Well, do you know about Jungle Cruise's new history, like the park?
Oh yeah, with Alberta. Yeah.
Oh,
we're all very invested.
There is so much. Like, I had to take a whole class, and they had to explain.
You got Jungle Cruise class?
Yes, because I worked there. I had to know.
Can we go to the Jungle Cruise class?
I want to go to the Jungle Cruise class.
Put in your application. But like, there's so much there. I'm like, why don't they make the movie off of this? Because it ties in so much more. And I'm like, and then when people ride the ride, they'll know who these random people on the pole are, because they all have a name. There's an actual story to Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
One of them's from Canada.
Yeah. You can't tell it when you're telling the jokes. You just tell the jokes and then you move on and then everybody leaves. But I'm like, if you made the movie about what our actual like story is, then everyone
where was that in this movie?
Well, no, but I maintain that the Jungle Cruise movie was very smart in that they I think they set
They
it up
did
in a
look
universe where it could be in the same universe as the ride, but the fact that it takes place like 20-ish years before the ride takes place, and that it's a different boat company, it's a different skipper.
Well,
Like,
they've
if-
set themselves up very well for their sequel to be better than the first movie, which would be
Yes.
rare in cinematic history. But if
Yeah.
they do it, it could very easily be better than its first movie.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't mind the Jungle Cruise.
remember Matt's Seaverse? It's the greatest film franchise that will never happen.
I remember how
I-
excited you were about this movie, Matt. I remember
I
how
know.
excited you
I-
were.
I know.
I went opening day. to
So,
see that
I went the
movie.
day before opening day. It was my first time back in the
And
movie
I was
theater.
so disappointed in it that I had to see. What did I see after? I saw Raya. I went over to the next theater and I saw Raya.
Oh,
Well, that was definitely better than Jungle Cruise.
Raya. Oh, I love Raya. Oh my gosh, so good, so
Oh,
good.
so good.
But we went off on a Jungle
I don't want to
Cruise.
completely
Jungle
jump on Jungle Cruise. I don't think it was like a horrible movie by any means. Like I watched it, but when you've got pirates setting the bar and actually
Yeah,
being kind of
exactly.
the gold standard for attraction-based non-IP movies,
Mhm.
after what we've seen with Tomorrowland and some of these other offerings, that was the bar, and it had the potential to get there because it's such a great story. There's so
Okay.
much lore and the whole sea connection. And then they just said, let's put The Rock in it. And it was like, oh, what?
Let's be fair. The
Who
one
was in
that
this
really
meeting?
set the bar was the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror with Steve Guttenberg and Kirsten Dunst.
I don't know if you're being ironic, but I
That's
love
who
that
set the
movie.
bar.
I love
Under-
that movie.
I love that movie.
It's underrated. It's very underrated. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very underrated.
Yeah.
But
agreed.
to be fair, Pirates is a little bit more stunning than Tower of Terror.
Yes.
Steve
Well, I mean, with their
Guttenberg,
TV
Johnny
movie
Depp.
budget, with their TV movie budget, they did the best they could. Like, I think it's a solid script. That's the main thing. Mary wants Libby to make she says movie, but she means video about the ride with all the info we don't get to hear about. I would also love that.
Yeah.
Can you do
Because
it?
it would make so much
I
more
didn't know
sense
you were a
because
skipper, Punchy.
Oh yeah, Libby was a skipper.
I was a skipper.
Literally,
We have
like,
Disney
before they did
royalty here.
That reboot, that revamp, I rode that ride probably 10 times every time I went to Disney World. It is my favorite ride. I cannot stand in the line now because I will not.
It's 110
wait 2
minutes.
hours
Yeah.
for
Never
it.
stand in the line.
I will
Jungle
not.
Cruise is
I will
consistently second to Peter
Um,
Pan only.
It's because of the way that the ride runs. It is an old running ride. They would never make Jungle Cruise nowadays.
It's like continuously loading, but not really.
It's a whole thing. We have Bertha sometimes that she takes forever, and then there's some people who take forever just getting on the boats.
Girl.
And so
Yeah.
It's no different than Kilimanjaro safaris. Both of them are like, and I'm on the speaker for another 20 minutes. So, hey.
it's worse.
But
Oh my gosh.
I was so annoyed when they did the revamp because I was like, none of what they're doing. Like, I understand. Like, I thought originally they were doing the revamp because of how culturally insensitive it was. I was like, okay. But then everything else they put in, I was like, what was the point of this? What is this person? Who is this person on the map? Why do I care about her? Why are you?
Oh no,
It's Alberta
all
Falls.
sea. It's all sea.
Why are there suddenly
It's all
like
sea.
You have to do it.
1,000 monkeys?
Morgan, I'll
There's
send you my
other
video.
animals.
It's a very good one.
Morgan,
all
if you're gonna
sea.
teach Disney, Morgan, you got to teach the right
You
stuff.
gotta teach the children.
All right,
Teach
it's
the
about
children.
sea. It's connecting
About
into
the
the
sea.
seaverse, and it is critical. It is critical
good.
stuff.
It's kind of the heart of the Seaverse is Alberta Falls.
Yeah,
and
no,
family.
we should be so grateful. We should hope that they do this to pirates, to be honest.
Albert
I hope
Falls.
that they do this to pirates.
Isn't Albert Falls like the guy the founder of the Seaverse?
Yeah.
He's one of the founders.
Well, no,
yeah.
sea was founded in the 1500s. Albert was just a member when it had
Oh,
its
I see.
resurgence in like
Right.
the
He's
the
one of the
early
main
1900s.
explorers.
But I understand all of that. But I thought the movie. What I'm saying is, I thought the movie was gonna give me it, and it
Yeah.
didn't. And I was so.
So
annoyed
blame
when
the
it
movie,
didn't.
not the ride. The movie was
Yes.
the failure.
Oh, the
The-
movie was the film.
Yeah,
Point.
the revamping of the ride is what they should have done to the movie.
Oh,
But
100%.
the Imagineers don't work on the movie. They're two separate people.
They
so-
should though. They should
You know what?
talk to each other.
I'm glad they're two different people because I don't want The Rock in the Jungle Cruise ride.
No.
Yeah,
Where's
that's
the
true.
rock? There's plenty of rocks.
As
All the rocks.
as a science
But not
teacher,
the
I was
rock
like,
we
what
talking
is
about.
with
The
all
rock
these-
is.
She's a Jungle Cruise skipper, so you know the rocks. There's
I got
rocks.
that every day.
I
Is the
won't
rock
take
on
her for
this ride?
granted,
There's
believe
plenty
me.
of rocks. Choose your favorite. That'll be The Rock.
That's hilarious. Oh
Very
my
good.
gosh.
I love it. I love it.
I enjoy this.
Listen, I just think like I remember I got very excited when there was some kind of video that like a teaser video that was released by Disney, and they had the dude who was, I guess, the creative
yeah, and he had the
designer,
pin.
and he was wearing C stuff, and I went, we're in good hands.
Yeah.
This guy is a C
Yeah.
guy,
Mhm.
and this is all going to
Oh,
bridge to
man.
this Disney Plus series, and who knows what else.
That
And
series is
because they keep all over the world, because C keeps growing and they keep adding new members and new stories and new kind of background. It's really exciting. And truthfully, when was the last time we had an original IP? And this is it. This is the offering. So I'm digging in, and I want more of it. And I was a little disappointed with the new show scenes. I was hoping for a little more C, but the C I got, I was happy to get. So
like, I'm happy that we got Alberta Falls out of it. Personally, I want her to be a walking around character because I don't think that's ever happened. Libby, can you confirm? Have we had an Alberta
No.
walking around and
No.
meeting?
No.
Well, we should.
Well, we do have. There is a skipper that I used to work with, and everybody always said that we always joke that he looked like Albert Falls, and he actually has like a full costume, and he will walk around the park sometimes as Albert
cool.
Falls, and it is so awesome and so cool. He's like the sweetest man ever.
Can we
It's
get a
so
tying in of the Pirates universe and the Jungle Cruise universe? Can we get that? Because that doesn't
That
seem
would
very
be-
far fetched.
No,
I mean, they're
it's
both
not.
on water.
Wasn't there like I remember that's how it was originally. They were supposed to tie in Disney.
Well, it's Adventureland. They're all in Adventureland. They're right next to each other. They're supposed to make sense together.
I don't want them to tie in. I just want to enjoy
What if
them
it's through
on their
sea,
own.
though? What if it's
I
a
want
sea
the
tie-in?
Adventureland movie where the Swiss
Yes.
Family Robinson, the Pirates, and the Jungle Cruise
We
all
don't
come
need-
together.
We don't need to bake
And
it down to
Aladdin
one
flies
movie.
over them on the carpet.
No,
No,
screw
cut
Aladdin.
Aladdin
He
out.
wasn't in Adventureland until the freaking 2000s.
Tell you what,
Get him
Matt,
out of there.
We'll just put some spitting camels in somewhere.
No!
That's
all I
we'll
need.
cover.
Put them back
Just
in
need a
MGM
spitting
where they
camel.
belong. Put them back in MGM.
And
They're just gonna jam Indiana Jones in there too. I mean, why not?
Oh, I'll
right?
I
take
mean-
some Indiana Jones. I'll take some Indiana Jones.
I mean, in the
Sprinkle
park,
that
they're
in.
kind of connected anyway, because we have rum
Exactly.
that we've stolen from the pirates that's on our
I didn't
dock.
know that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you
That's
guys ever
cool.
see the plans for the Indiana Jones expansion before they made the temple? And there was going to be like three, like there's a picture
There
somewhere.
was supposed to be a
that's out
whole
there.
land. Yeah.
And it was a whole land. So there was, and the Jungle Cruise would actually go through a
Yeah.
part of the temple
Instead, it butts up
area.
against it.
It was all encompassing. Jungle Cruise, the temple attraction, plus there was another Indiana Jones attraction. I want to say it was the mine cart, like the Temple of Doom mine cart experience. And there's a picture, like they did a lot of work on this. And then what do you know? Well, this is too expensive.
Too much
Let's just
money.
do one thing, you know. But the one thing they made is pretty spectacular. So, but it was
That's why
kind
we
of
got
really gonna
Dinosaur, too.
was really gonna pair Pirates and Jungle Cruise together, which was kind of interesting. Or sorry, Indiana Jones and Jungle Cruise together, which I thought was really interesting.
See, I would love
Instead,
that.
they put Indiana
energy.
Jones at a whole separate park.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be amazing. And
Wouldn't
I'll
it
take
have
an
been
Indiana
cool?
Jones card.
Wouldn't it have been cool if this Jungle Cruise movie, let me just take a step back here, was the story of the expedition where Harrison Hightower steals the Shariki Utundu that now haunts the Hollywood, whatever, so Harrison Hightower Hotel.
Hightower Hotel, yeah.
And now it is connected to you know,
It's
Tower
the
of
wrong
Terror.
jungle, though. It's the wrong jungle.
And then he takes
There,
a,
but give me a different jungle. A jungle's a jungle, man.
and
You
then
know?
he takes a cruise to the Caribbean and meets up with some pirates.
And then meets with the pirates, exactly. See, we're building a better franchise here right now
Yeah.
than what Disney has given us in recent years.
Truth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then what was I going to ask? Oh, I can't remember now. It's gone. Who wants to play the game?
Game time, game time, game.
Woot. All right. So you're going to need something to write with.
Hold on.
Uh-oh, all of my game pieces are all used up.
I'm
Okay.
supposed to be working here, friends. But I'm
You
really,
are working. This is
Look at this.
professional
Look,
development.
these are
It's
all
getting
your
dark out
games.
there.
These are all your games, Matt.
Oh,
I'm
man.
so happy you kept
I
them.
can't. I don't have any more paper.
I also
do
agree.
this.
Jesse Plemons was
Jesse
fantastic. in
Plemons was
Jungle
one of
Cruise.
the best parts.
Jesse
of that whole
Plemons,
stinking
best part of the
movie.
movie.
You know, no,
But
what we
then he
needed
went
when we
and
were robbed of.
participated in the power of the dog. and
Oh,
that
yeah,
discredited my love
we
of him.
forgive him for that. He got his Oscar nomination. It doesn't matter if it was for a bad movie. I said what I
Ay,
said.
ay, ay.
Jungle Cruise needed more Jesse Plemons and Jack Whitehall just interacting. That one short scene with the two
Sure.
of them, I was just thinking, give me
I
that.
also
make
thought
that the
it
movie.
was ridiculous.
Wait,
that they
what
took the
characters
story.
are they?
Jesse
It's the
Plemons is like
German
the
and the
Nazi
brother.
guy. Yeah.
Oh.
McGregor.
But they took the storyline of either the Hong Kong or the Shanghai Jungle Cruise with the vines eating people. That they took that. That's part of this movie.
Emerald Trinity. No, it wasn't as much as it could have been. Emerald
But
Trinity.
but like, why even put that in there? I don't. Maybe
I
because
know.
that's the market you're trying to sell to. I don't know. But I was
Waste
like, I
opportunity.
know that's a thing, and like 1,800 other Americans, and that's it. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But that could be a cool sequel. Jungle Cruise and the Emerald Trinity.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Well, again, if we watch my videos from now 2 years ago, I came up with a fantastic Jungle Cruise.
I know you did.
based
I
on
know you
Emerald
did, and
Trinity.
it's better than the movie we got.
I know. I know. It's a shame. So for tonight's game, it was inspired by Lauren, who sadly couldn't join us again today. But his catchphrase in all his videos is "Let's get crackin'." So tonight's game is called "Let's Get Crackin'" because there's a kraken in this movie. Yeah, it's a kraken. So you need to either write down kraken, or what's the opposite of kraken? Not kraken. That's what we'll say. Kraken or not kraken.
So what's the statistics here? What's going on?
So what we're going to do is I'm going to name something, and you have to tell me whether it is or is not a real thing named after the kraken. Because the kraken is such a famous mythological creature that's embedded in our social consciousness that a lot of things have been named after the kraken. Yeah, things that don't even necessarily have anything to do with the sea creature, just because it's a strong image, a powerful name. I'm going to tell you a thing, and you have to tell me whether there is or is not a thing of that thing named after the kraken. If you think there's a thing of the thing named after the kraken, you show me kraken. If you think
These are very
Yeah.
not clear directions.
Yeah. Or if you don't think it's a kraken, you show me not kraken. So
I'm
here
ready
we
to go. Let's do this.
Here we go. So, roller coaster. Is there a roller coaster named after the kraken? Is that kraken or not kraken? Okay. Answers in three.
We just
I
go?
need an
two,
example of what.
Hold on.
One. Okay.
Hold on. Don't do it
Put
yet.
Put it away. Oh, well,
Okay.
Jeanette's not
Sorry.
looking.
I was being a very okay, go ahead.
Kraken or not kraken? Roller coaster. Okay, we got one kraken. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to make my scorecard. Hold on. I was so invested in explaining kraken versus not kraken. TJ teaching Disney. Yeah, you all got it. There is a roller coaster called the Kraken.
Yeah.
If anyone can tell me what theme park it's in, you'll get an extra point.
Oh. Hold on.
Is it Knott's Berry Farm?
SeaWorld, somewhere SeaWorld.
Yes, SeaWorld
Yes, you're
Orlando.
right.
That's another point for Chris
You're so
Bond.
right.
And I've been on it. Look at
You have? How is it? It looks scary because it's called the Kraken. Next, a tequila brand.
Oh.
Kraken or not Kraken? Tequila brand.
Don't put it up yet, Tinker J.
Oh, sorry.
3, 2, 1. Not Kraken. Kraken, not. Oh, wait, I have to negotiate in my head what the right answer is versus what all of you are saying. It is not Kraken. It's a rum brand. Who said
Yes.
not Kraken?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say rum. I said not Kraken because I know it's a rum.
Kraken.
There we go.
Not cracking.
Not Kraken.
Yeah,
It's
baby.
a rum. It's the
It's a
best.
rum.
It's the best spiced rum you can buy.
It's so
good.
strong too. It's like 96 proof.
There's
or
also
something.
a coffee Kraken. That's very good.
Don't root Tinker J.
Oh,
The next one was caught. No, I'm kidding. I didn't know that. Okay, delete that. A space
I have a fun
rover.
story with Kraken.
a space rover.
Space rover. Oh, and then we'll hear Morgan's fun story about
No, I
Kraken.
can't say it on air.
Oh, okay. That's the best.
Yeah,
kind of
no,
story.
it's right, Morgan. I can't tell my Kraken rum story on Twitter. It's okay.
We'll save it for later. All right, Kraken space rover. Kraken or not Kraken? 3, 2, 1. It's not Kraken. There's no space rover.
Damn.
I would know that.
Kraken.
I thought because of the arm, like Canada arm, like the.
Oh
thing,
yeah. You would. It would be a
maybe
great
there
name.
a one with 3 or 4, and they would call it Kraken.
I would do that if I worked for NASA. Sadly, no. Robotics company.
Man,
The Kraken Robotics Company.
Sounds very Michael Crichton-y.
Actually does.
It does. The Kraken Robotics Company.
3, 2, 1. Morgan, what's your answer? Kraken? Morgan, you got it. There is a Kraken. Morgan.
Wow. I love how
Robotics
Morgan
company.
spelled both her Krakens with a different letter.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, they're both spelled
K.
with C?
They're both.
Oh, they're both spelled with K.
Oh, it's a
your
K
K
that-
has
yeah.
a C in it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Smart.
I get fancy occasionally.
Yeah, the Kraken Robotics Company, I think it's a Canadian company, and they do underwater robot things. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Next, a chocolate bar. The Kraken chocolate bar.
Is this a trick question?
Is that a trick question?
If it's a real chocolate bar, it's spelled like the sea creature, not like
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay. If it's
Right.
spelled differently in a different country, Matt, I'm gonna literally.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
3, 2, 1. It's not Kraken. There's no Kraken chocolate bar. It's not a thing. It should be. It's not a thing. There is the Crunch bar, which I would
and
call
there's
the
the
Kraken
crack,
bar.
and there's the Crackle bar.
Oh, we don't have that up here.
Okay, that's why
Didn't even know
Morgan
that
and I were
existed.
like,
Oh.
"Is this a trick question?"
that
This
doesn't
is a
sound
trick
delicious.
question.
That doesn't
Crackle?
sound
I don't
delicious
want
at
that.
all.
It's basically a
a mini crunch bar.
Yeah, but it's the
Why would you
cheap
want a
brand.
mini Crunch bar?
It's like whatever brand owns Crunch Bar, but the other brand. It's like the Pepsi to the Coke.
Yeah.
It's
That
a
sounds
Crackle bar.
terrible.
Well, Nestle owns Crunch,
Okay.
doesn't they? And Nestle's
Yeah,
a
so it's
Canadian
somebody
company.
else. Hershey owns Crackle. It's
Yeah.
Oh, I've had the mini ones in like Halloween.
Halloween.
assortments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Halloween.
And it's underwhelming. So no,
Yeah.
it's not that. Next,
Right.
a cryptocurrency bank. A cryptocurrency bank. Bob Hunt says we only have Kraken on The Price is Right. Not wrong. So cryptocurrency bank. 3, 2, 1. Got a Kraken. Yeah, you all got it. It's a Kraken.
It was in a Super Bowl commercial.
It was?
was it?
That makes sense.
It was.
I'll buy it.
The whole
guess.
screen went black, and everyone was like,
Bondo goes,
"What's
"I
going on?
guess."
Is the TV broken? Did it go out?" And then it's just like cryptocurrency, and everyone got so angry in the bar I was in that like glasses were thrown. Like,
Oh,
'cause
I'm
it was
sorry. You had to
out
go to a bar
straight,
for
like,
Super Bowl?
30
That's the
seconds.
worst experience ever.
You had to watch the Super Bowl? That's the worst experience ever.
Hey, whoa, Matt.
No Oscar night. Said what I said.
Amen.
Matt.
I still don't understand how football works. It's so confusing. The rules
Oh,
change.
I will teach
every
you, Matt.
round.
Matt, I will teach you. It's so fun. I love
That-
it.
It's
Before
it's
next
not
year's
fun,
Super
Matt.
Bowl. Before next
You get
year's
to watch
Super Bowl, we
people,
can do a video
like
series.
nearly
You teach
murder
me.
each other to death. It's so much fun. I love it.
It's not
Yeah, but in
fun.
Canada, we do that on skates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neither
With
one of them is
sticks.
fun.
They're
But-
both
but
fun.
it's
They're both fun.
during-
Moving on.
It's not during hockey season though, so it's like your counterpart to hockey.
Yeah, sports are sports.
I'd rather see
we've
somebody
never-
pummel each other to death with plot, so that's why I watch movies.
Yes.
Exactly.
Next, breed of snake. Breed
I
of
should know.
snake.
I should freaking know this.
Yeah.
Heck. Why do I not know this?
Are you going like scientific breed or like breeds?
Girl, there.
No, like it would be this. It would be the commonly adopted name, like cobra, anaconda. It would be like the scientifically appointed name if it's
Oh.
a kraken.
Those aren't the okay.
Well,
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's not a snake. There's no
That's
kraken
not a snake. This is a snake.
This is a snake. That's not a snake. Okay. A Seattle NHL team.
Oh, okay.
What?
Seattle NHL team. Now remember, the general rule of thumb is the more detailed an answer is, the more likely the person is to be lying. Seattle NHL team. Kraken or not Kraken? NHL means National Hockey League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all the talk down here because Tampa.
Tampa? Is that a team?
Tampa is a city in Florida.
Oh,
Leafs, go. You
go Leafs, go.
beat my Leafs.
The
Just
Lightning.
letting you know.
3, 2, 1. It is a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a Kraken. It's a relatively new team. I think it's not even a real team. It's like
It's
a,
Is it an indoor
farm
hockey
team or
team like
something.
there was indoor football
Oh,
team?
it's an NHL team, Tinker J.
yeah, just
They
like it's a
just-
junior team. They're
And
new.
they just played their first season, so
They're
that's
new.
why.
Aw, cute buddies.
We have 2 more in the regular round. Then we have our super fun bonus question, which has nothing to do with the rest of this game. Next, brand of tire.
Aw.
And now, remember, tires don't just go on cars. They can go on all-terrain vehicles.
Oh, Jesus, Matt. Come on.
Jeez, Max.
Oh,
Bondo, I'm not
the
sure if
chat's
you've
doing
ever
pretty
seen me
good.
on the show, but I do really well, and then I lose spectacularly.
It's funny
And I'm
because it's
getting
great.
reminiscence. I'm getting flashbacks.
3, 2, 1. It's a not Kraken. Wait, who said that?
That's not fair. That's not fair. I'm going to tell you why that's not fair.
Why is that not fair?
Because I was like, oh, that's not Kraken. And you're like, but it could be with this all-terrain
Oh, get
vehicle.
over it.
No,
Bondo,
no,
of
You
all
saw my
people.
face, right? I was like, why are you saying that? Why?
No.
I'm throwing
Of
you
all people
off.
With the
All the
crappy
time,
questions.
all the
I
time.
guess
have
you're
2
telling us
degrees.
it's a yes?
Get out of
You
town with
screwed
talking
me,
about
Craig.
crappy
You
questions.
screwed me.
I did. And
Now
The
you know
quote,
my pain.
Swan,
Now you know my pain.
I
sorry.
know, Morgan. I'm feeling the heat.
Pirate.
I get
There we
it.
go.
Yeah.
He's a pirate.
Now I know why Morgan loses all the time at the end because of this nonsense.
Hey, Morgan, you want to come on and play Bondo mashups? It's a real brain screwer.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will. I love games. I am.
I've never gotten to
so
play a Bondo
competitive.
mashup game.
You've played
never-
a Bondo
I've only-
mashup game.
No, I
What are you doing?
haven't.
You've
No.
you've done trivia on our show.
No,
I've done trivia. I
trivia is
haven't done a
different than
mashup,
Bondo mashups.
I haven't done mashup. I know.
Bondo mashups are hard.
I know.
Yeah, no,
And whenever
Joe.
I'm playing along in my car, I'm like, I would have rocked this if I was there. So bring me back and do a mashup. Just
Fine, we'll bring you back. We'll do a
Woo!
Oh my
More
gosh,
work
now
for
we
me.
have
I
to
gotta
go
write a
head
bunch
to
of
head. I want to go
stuff.
head to head with you again because I never
Yeah,
get to go head to
absolutely.
head with you.
All right. Last question in the regular round. A lake on Saturn. The Kraken Lake
I
on
taught this
Saturn.
literally yesterday.
What, that it doesn't exist or that it does?
Clue.
Or that it was on another planet?
No, I meant like the features of Saturn.
Morgan, you just
Okay.
gave everyone a point. Let's
No,
go.
I
3,
didn't.
2, 1.
I meant that it was.
Libby, is your answer Kraken?
Yeah, she
Kraken.
scribbled out not
Yeah.
because.
I don't know.
It's a real thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a
No,
lake.
no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's on the moon of Saturn. It's on Titan. It's not on Saturn.
I mean, yeah.
It's on the moon? I
It's
thought it was
on
on the
Titan.
planet.
It's on Titan. It's on Titan.
You all get a point. There we go.
Did you just argue? Did you just argue your way into a point, Tinker J?
Yes,
I'm
You're right,
telling
dude.
you,
I got
Prove me wrong.
nothing.
it's on a moon of either
It is.
Jupiter or Saturn.
No, it is. It's on. Yeah, you're right. I didn't read that closely. I threw this together very quickly. But apparently NASA is going to send like a space submarine to explore to me, which to me is the most terrifying thing I've ever
I'm
heard.
so excited because they
I'm-
told
no.
us they found tiny microbes that were actual aliens and they lied to us because they were actually dead. And now I'm hoping they'll find the actual microbes that are still alive because there's some fluid in them.
No, I don't
Is
want
it
that.
Titan, where Thanos is from. I thought you were talking about a fake.
Yeah,
planet.
that's an actual planet in Avengers, but it's a moon in the real world.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Many
a
people
Jupiter,
are like,
it's
it's on
either
Titan,
of
and I'm like,
Jupiter
It's a
or
Marvel
Saturn.
Okay.
I am now going to give you your points, and you can pick how many you'd like to wager for our bonus question.
Hold on. Mary in the comments is saying that Kraken tires do exist. And they're
Do
golf
they?
vehicles.
Oh yeah, give us all the
Just-
points back.
Really?
Give us our points.
Golf vehicle tires. See, you
I
were
s-
right. You were like, it's not a car. Maybe
Mary,
it's.
stop it! I'm in the lead for once.
I spent a whole 5 seconds Googling Kraken tires and nothing came
Oh,
up.
Give us our points, baby.
Okay, you all get an extra point because I was wrong. I don't know who got what. There we go.
I'm
Sure.
so annoyed. Stop.
Yeah, you're still in the lead, Morgan. Everyone went up by 1 point. Don't worry.
Feels
Do you
good.
not know that Matt's research skills on these questions are beyond belief?
Right? It's fact and fiction. Here we go. These are your points. How many would you like to wager? Libby, you have 6. Bondo, you have 9. Morgan, you have 11. And Jeanette, you have 10.
Oh,
I'm going all in.
You're going all? Okay. Now, Libby, just because they went all in doesn't mean you have to. People have
No,
won by
I
not
lied.
going all in.
I'm gonna go 10.
Oh, you're gonna go 10.
you're gonna save 1 freaking point, Morgie?
Yeah. Because even if I get 10, I'm still gonna be 1 point ahead of you.
That's the teacher coming out. Very good. Libby, what are you feeling? All? Okay.
It's never been an option before, so I've never done it.
Bondo?
1.
1.
Oh,
Okay.
come
Need
on,
these
Price is
monkeys to
right.
get it
What are you
wrong.
doing over there?
I get it wrong.
Okay. Actually, I really didn't think this through. No, I guess I did. This is one of those bonus questions where one of you will be right. And I think I've decided that those who are wrong will get whatever you wager deducted.
Okay.
Because that'll make things interesting.
That's usually
Okay.
how it
Yep.
works. Yeah.
Yeah, pirate.
That
It's not
sounds
usually how it
good.
works, but I'm pulling a pirate. So the answer will be a number. Whoever is closest without going over will
What is
be
Price
the
is
winner.
right?
Yeah. And if you are all over, whoever is closest going over is the winner. So, in the spirit of the Kraken, how long was the biggest / longest recorded giant squid in feet?
Wait.
Oh God, this is at the Smithsonian.
How long
I know.
is the biggest recorded giant squid on record in feet? We're going in feet.
Okay. I think I know. I think I know.
Do you want the inches too?
I just have a round number, so yeah.
This is in feet?
In feet, yeah.
This is literally Morgan and I should both know this because it's at the Smithsonian, like right up the road from where where she used to live, where I currently live. Not far. We've both seen it a million times, I'm sure.
It's in the Smithsonian. Really? It was only discovered in like 2016.
It's so disgusting and it's so ugly. And it's in this long preserved box. And it's
Ew.
shrivelly, and it looks like the stuff you get to dissect in science class, where it comes and it's all like, ugh, you know.
That sounds
I actually
like
haven't
fun.
haven't seen that, but I am a science teacher, so
Yeah, it's in the
do teach about
Smithsonian,
it.
and it's awful.
The ruby slippers are there too.
Yes,
I like to scare my students into letting them know that you are not the only person in the universe, and that everything you do could cause you to die very easily.
Yeah, sea creatures are scary.
The sea is terrifying.
See, is terrifying.
Sea
That was
creatures,
actually-
aka the STDs of the earth for you,
Yes.
as far
We've
as
only
fear of dying.
studied roughly
Oh my
20% of the ocean.
No, I don't even want to hear the statistics. The reason this movie freaked me out so much was because more of it was at sea, at night, and that just triggered fears I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
So, who has their answers written down?
Wait, no.
Okay. Don't look in the chat. That's the other thing I'm going to say.
We have to write
I'm gonna get it wrong. I know I'm gonna get it wrong.
them. Okay.
Again, it's not
Did you
exact.
say without going over?
Yeah.
Without going over.
Closest without going over. If everyone does go over, then whoever's closest.
Okay. That's
Now-
a wonderful rule. I wish Price is Right did that.
Right? Granted, now this layers in. There could be the one smart person who's like, I'm going to bid $1. But then the person who bids $2 closer without going over.
I think I know the answer, but I'm gonna go under just to be sure.
All right, let's go. We'll go one at a time. Jeanette, what number do you have for me? 50, okay.
Oh,
Morgan, what do you have for me?
I put 16.
16. Okay, Libby, what do you have for me?
42.
42, okay. Bondo, what do you have for me?
I cheated. I saw this in the chat.
Well, you won.
Is it really? Oh my gosh.
It's
Why
43.
I was thinking it was 18.
Hold on,
Which-
hold on.
But wait,
no, I'm
but wait.
looking this
I only
up.
wagered
Oh,
1
wait,
point.
sorry.
So Morgan
Never
wins,
mind.
I
No,
think.
no.
I think Morgan still wins because I only wagered one.
No, but
point.
everyone else, whatever you
No.
bet was
Okay.
deducted
Hey.
if you lost.
Hey.
Well,
Hey.
did you pull it up already? What's it say?
59
What?
feet.
My Google said 43.
I
Yeah,
believe
maybe
Matt's
43 of your
Google.
Canadian measures.
No, that's
43 of your
not.
Canadian measures.
Don't even do that.
I mean,
Don't even
actually, it
do
would
that.
be roughly
For real. Look, I'm
It's
gonna look
not
up 59
43
feet
meters.
and 43. No,
It's not 43 meters. Thank you very
59
much.
Which
feet
one is
in
it?
Canadian. In Canadian.
Matt, you
Honestly,
got it right.
I think we're all winners because we had fun.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just a
mine's
second.
saying 59.
Bondo
That's
coming
what
up
they
in here and blowing up our world. I see how it is.
Well, my first answer was 69, dude.
Hooray, we have a winner!
Thanks.
have. Well, National Geographic says 50, but then if you scroll down, ocean.si.edu, which you go with edu site, says 43 and 13 meters.
Are there two giant squids that
Which
are
is probably
landing?
what I was thinking.
Or what? Like, was it 50 and then it shrunk when it left the water?
That
Because
is
that's
true.
also a thing.
Can I give a
apparently.
shout
Yeah,
out to
it's
Movie
fine.
Mania Nick for helping
Yes.
me win?
Movie
Yes,
Mania
Movie-
Nick for
Movie Mania
giving you
Nick
the
is for-
freaking answer. That's what.
Listen, I
Pirates.
didn't win though, did I? Oh, because Morgan lost points.
Yeah, because I
Oh,
changed
yeah,
the
yeah,
rules.
yeah,
I
yeah.
pirated them. Yeah.
So I did
yeah,
win.
Yeah. Your first time on the show, and you
Nick
won.
and Bondo, we're the champs.
Oh, look at
Did
that.
it together.
You can't win on We Like Theme Parks, so you came on here.
I've never
How
won on
many
anything when we
times-
like
I
Theme
was
Parks.
I
gonna say, how
know.
many times
You know
have
why?
I been
Because
on
I'm
this
the
singing
freaking
show?
host.
Can I bring you a
know.
trivia game and then challenge you on your own show?
Oh, it depends what the trivia game is. See, the magic of We Like Theme Parks is we make everything funny, right?
I'm
So they
funny.
got to be funny questions. You
I'm
know, if
funny.
you're like,
I can be-
you know,
I can be
what's
funny.
Mickey's girlfriend? Then like, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
Daisy.
No, you're. No. Okay.
No, that's the funny answer. You're laughing right now. See, I'm qualified.
No,
I
the
am,
funny
okay.
answer is
You got me
Donald.
there, dude.
All right, friends. Any closing thoughts on either this movie or the Pirates franchise as a whole?
I'm
I'll
still-
go because I'm not here next week, and my closing thought is this whole movie is a lot better after you watch the next one.
Okay, I'm gonna take your word on it.
Morgan, closing thoughts?
I'm still so peeved that I did not win this. Again, coming this close. This is like the 10th time. The 10th time. I swear. Normally it's Lauren that kicks me out of the song.
All right. Libby.
Yeah, that's my closing thought.
Closing thoughts.
They're good movies. After you watch them all the first time, just watch them again, all in succession, and then it's even better.
I like
Word.
That. I like that. Well, I'm very excited and very tempted to just watch At World's End as soon as we wrap this up because you've made me want the answers that apparently this next movie will give me. So see how it goes.
Yeah.
Bondo, closing thoughts.
First, I just want to say thank you for having me on. It was
Well,
real
thanks
fun.
for joining us.
Of course. I mean, I was really excited when I heard it was a Pirates Week. So, woohoo! I'll leave it with this, and this might be controversial. I love Pirates so much, and I'm enjoying it that I'm very excited about the new Red edition, where we're going to get Red.
Yeah.
Very excited about that. But with that also said, I would love a return of Johnny Depp and Captain Jack. That's what I also want. I think there's a world where we can have all the things and enjoy it. And although the fifth pirate movie is maybe Johnny Depp was going through some bad times, he had a bit of a struggle on that movie. Still enjoyable, and it's a big send off for Mr. Rush, which I really enjoyed. Spoiler alert.
Oh, is he in the last one? No spoilers. It's the only one I haven't seen.
Yeah, he's in all
I
five.
love how we're
He's in
like
all five.
spoilers all over the place, unless it's the fifth one, and then please. don't.
But I think overall, all I'm here to say as a final thought is more pirates, please.
More pirates, please. Well,
Yes.
we've got 3 more weeks of pirates on this or 4. How many movies are there? I don't
3.
know.
3 more.
We got 3 more weeks of
Christmas.
pirates
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
Hooray! Can't wait. So anyway, now we're going to do the sign off. Tell us again who you are, where we can find you, and anything fun and exciting that you have coming up on your respective channels. Let's start with our almost winner.
Oh, dang it. So I am teaching Disney on YouTube. You can find me there and then find my other consequential links via the internet and all that. I have a giveaway on my channel right now going on, so you can win lots of Disney merch, small shop Disney merch. Go check that out. And then tomorrow I have a Cosmic opening day Cosmic Rewind video coming out. It does not spoil the ride, only the queue and the pre-show. So if you want to watch it, if you want to know what you're in for, go and watch it. I worked really hard on it. So
Brilliant. I love Glenn Close. Can't wait. Thank you, Morgan. Libby.
Yeah, so I'm Punzi's Palace over on YouTube, and then Punzi Palace over on Instagram. If I can ever finish editing some videos, some new videos will be coming out shortly. And probably, I think I should get to work on a Jungle Cruise video, apparently. So
Yes, please.
yeah. So I'll
The
be
fans
working on
have
that.
spoken. Amazing. Can't wait. Thank you, Libby.
So I am Jeanette. Woo, 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 woo. There. Check me out, TinkerJ787 on Instagram. You can also find me on Disnerdy Network on We Like Theme Parks on Tuesday nights. I'm in 2 places at one time. I'm very magical. You can find me here on Teacup for One, and you can also find me in early July on Dole Whip Darlings. I have if you follow my Instagram account, you can see my upcoming 10th wedding anniversary trip to Disney World. And then also in October, I'll have a trip planned with some of the Disnerdy gals over to Halloween Horror Nights and to Disney World. Don't know if we're going to do the Halloween party. Maybe, but definitely Disney World and Halloween Horror Nights over at Universal in October.
Oh, you're going to have so much fun. I might crash. I probably won't, but wouldn't that be a delight? Thank you, Jeanette. Always a pleasure. Boom.
So I just start talking?
Yeah, you just start talking. It's
Okay.
you. This is your time.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, I want to say I won, and that was pretty great. Sorry, everyone, but yeah, good time. I'm on Disney stuff too. It's the Disney Network, and it's a podcast called We Like Theme Parks, and the We Like Theme Parks show on the Disney Network with Tinker J. She's awesome. We have a great time, and it's super fun, and we do super fun stuff. What did we do this week? We just had Big Fat Panda on last week, which was great, and we just had the Dapper Danielle on tonight, the show that I'm skipping to be here. So you want to check that out on the replay. It's super fun, or listen to us. You can download our pod anywhere you get podcasts. The show's great. Matt's been on it like 100 times. He's like, whatever, we like theme parks.
Oh, I love We Like Theme Parks.
Yeah, so that's happening. And I think I'm going to be in the parks. I think I'm actually finally going to get into a park. I'm going to be in Disneyland, I think the first week of July, right after I open this show here. I'm going to Anaheim, and hopefully I'm going with Miriam, so the Churro Fund. So looking forward to that. So yeah,
Brilliant.
More Disney. Woo-hoo! Ready to go. And thanks again, Matt, for having me on. Super fun.
Thank you. Oh, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Yeah, look this way. Yeah, high five.
I got it. Yeah.
You didn't high five me. There we go. And with that, I'm removing you from the stream. Thank you, Bondo. Always a pleasure. And of course, if you're watching this, my name is Matt and I have 2 degrees. Join us next week where we're going to talk about part 3, where hopefully this movie will make slightly more sense. And until then, this has been the Tea Cup for One. How do I end this?